You know me trying to put the pieces together always. What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing, Uncle Joey?
What's up, you sexy motherfuckers?
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
I wasn't talking to Lee. I'm talking to you two other.
No,
gentlemen.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You always blame me.
Oh,
How you doing?
Doug, you have no idea what happened to me tonight, guys. I had a great day. I had lunch with my brother, went to give blood, went to the gym. I had to make calls today. And I get home about 3, and it's the same old song and dance. I'm fucking dying at 3. I wait for Mercy to come in. I talk to her for a little while. Tells me about her homework, a day. And then as soon as she goes to do homework, I slip into the bedroom, and it's nappy nunu time.
Every day at 3?
Every day at 3. But today I was real like lately I think I took one nap last week. But I took this little fucking nappy nunu. I get up about 4:30. I'm like, whoa, I gotta get up and get ready for these edibles. But when I got up, I was out of it. And I slept good last night. I got 7.5 last night. I went to bed at 11 and I woke up at 5 the first fucking time to pee. That's like a record for Uncle Joey, right? So I get up at 4:30. I brush my teeth, I Listerine, I wash my face, the whole thing. And I come downstairs, I drink some water, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to fucking, like when you're about to puke.
Really?
Yeah, I started sweating.
Were you eating the edibles, or you were just sitting there?
No. I hadn't eaten the edibles yet.
Oh shit!
And then the next thing you fucking know, I'm over there with my shirt off, sweating profusely. And dog, I was gonna call you at like 6:15 and go, I don't know about tonight, guys. And I got up, I took a tremendous fucking dump. The whole time I was gonna puke, and I drank a liquid IV, dog. Within 10 minutes, the phone started ringing. I'm talking to people. So it's a beautiful thing. That's how quick I got. I got a little buzz to me. I got
what
my
did you
little
eat for lunch today?
I had a steak and chicken and rice.
Jesus Christ.
I got a new toy now. You know what I'm saying? I went to light. I took such a disgusting shit. I had to put a candle up, and I couldn't find a light. I didn't feel like walking to the garage. So I blasted it with this. The candle almost melted. I don't even know why. I don't even know how I don't even know what this is.
Hold on. Let's be honest. Let's all
go ahead.
You love that lighter, and you're lighting. You've never had a candle. I guess you did have a candle in the office. I think you just love lighting shit with that lighter.
You know me. I'm a closet klepto, whatever the fuck you call those people. Not a klepto, whatever. A pyro.
Pyro. Yeah. I just love that.
I started out as a pyro. My first career at the age of 5, I was a pyro. I was a pyro from 5 to like fucking 7 until the fire department came, and that was it. That was the end of my pyro career.
From 5 to 7, Jesus.
Yeah.
And now, like when I'm said, like it is crazy to me that you don't do dabs. I would think dabs would be right up your alley.
Listen, man. If I need a blowtorch to get high, it's time for a different fucking party. You might as well shoot the heroin in. Go to Saudi Arabia, pick up a pound, and take your chances like Midnight Express.
Holy shit!
I need a blowtorch in my fucking house to get high and stuff. And yeah, people say it's cleaner. I get it. But I'm old school. Listen to that lung, cocksucker. If I do 10 dabs now, the lung will be gone. This motherfucker's holding on. Pretty soon I'll be on a list. For fucking a lung. I have to wait for a trombone player to die or something like that.
Are you really going to be on a list?
I don't know, but you never know. Anything could happen.
Those dabs are crazy.
They're fucking nuts, and they make them stronger and stronger. And I like to get high to enjoy it. I like the taste of the marijuana. I'm a fucking old school type of dude. You do it for a reason. Listen, I've quit every fucking thing I've done. And I'll tell you what, I don't even think about quitting marijuana. I take some days off. Some nights I don't feel like smoking, and that's fine. Some mornings I leave here at 8, and I don't get high till 2:30. So, bam, it's life,
But you don't have it. You've never once considered quitting weed.
Why? It's the last piece of what and who the fuck I am. I'm a fucking old fag now. I don't do nothing. I don't mug. I don't do nothing. I don't call bookies no more and harass them. I don't do nothing.
When were you calling bookies?
I don't know. I'm just telling you that,
Okay.
I'm just on wheels. So, in my world right now, and it's been like that for years. It's like when I call my daughter at night, she comes down here with a fucking teddy bear. It's a purple one, a big one, And I'm like, Mercy, and I don't even say nothing. I can't say nothing to you about that. But it's like my teddy bear. It's the last piece of. I went to the gym the other day and I was working out and I put on Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. Why? I don't know. It was there. I haven't listened to it. And there were parts of that where that's the first album I ever fucking tripped to.
What did you do for that one?
I had a hit of acid and a 6-pack of Michelob. I was about 13,
13.
Yeah, and I fucking went home. I was so high, about 40. Like I did the acid like at 1 on a Sunday, and I was so fucking high. I went home like about 6 at night.
Right.
And I got home. I tried to get home for dinner before dinner, and I fucking went into that room, and I had these posters like basketball. I was a geek, I had like Led Zeppelin and like Michael Corrin and the McDonald's All-Star, And I'll never forget, at one point I said, fuck it, this acid's too strong. And I had an 8-track player, and I had Dark Side of the Moon on 8-track, and I popped that motherfucker in, and all of a sudden I started seeing things, and I was like, wow, because Pink Floyd had mixed in with my thoughts and what I was seeing on the poster. And the next thing you know, man, I got up the next morning. Like I slept the whole night. And when I woke up, I puked in the middle of the night, but I didn't go to the bathroom. I just twisted my head and puked on my shoulder. When I woke up the next morning, I had a dead piece of fucking gum and my shirt smelled like a fucking brewery. But anyway, who gives a fuck about that? Let's talk about you, Lee Syatt. How was the weekend in Kansas City? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was fantastic. It was one of the best weekends I've had in a while. It was really, really fun.
Talk to me. What happened Thursday night? Break it down.
So it was just I've had like pretty good weekends recently.
All right.
But like there's always a show or two that doesn't go the way you want it to go.
No, you got 5 shows. You're going to die 2 out of 5.
Well, this one, and that's what usually happens. And this one, pretty much every show, there was one show that I didn't do as well as I would have liked, but it was still like, it was just a very good weekend. The staff was really amazing. Like the coolest part, or one of the coolest parts, was like the manager sat me down and like took me through her plan for features and like what it would be like to work there, what she looks for in a feature, putting shows together. And it was like just cool to see like someone's actually putting like thought into it and like what it would look like if I went back, and it was just very cool.
Listen, when I got into comedy, there were a lot of comedy clubs at the time that had people who talked to you. In the mid-90s, comedy club owners talked to you. Yesterday, or a couple of days ago, one of the guys I used to talk to a lot about the essence of comedy was a guy who did comedy, did sketch, got married, and he moved on to be the comedy club manager in Seattle. His name was Carl Womanhoven. He was there Mondays and Tuesdays for the open mics.
Oh, that's cool.
He cared. And then there were comedy club owners or general managers that They cared. And a lot of them knew me, spoke to me, but they didn't care for my type of comedy at the time. And that was cool.
At least they told you that.
Right. Absolutely. But one of the clubs that had it when I came back in 94 was the Comedy Works in Denver. They had a writing class on Tuesdays, and then from the writing class, you went down to the open mic.
Okay.
And then after the open mic, you talk to the comic again. And he was a good dude. His name was Matt something. We'll remember by the end of the show. So I understand what you're saying by a manager took the time. It's a lot of fucking fun, man. There are some good people still fucking left in the business.
Yeah. And her name is Amanda, and she was laughing because she said you called her during the pen. She said you were like one of the only ones, and you would call her and just make sure she was okay. And it was just, yeah, it was cool to see. It was just nice. Have like, because I on Wednesday before I left on Thursday, I had like a terrible set. It was like I was just one where like people were just staring at me, and I fought them a little bit and got them a little bit, but it was just to go. And then just Josh's crowds are amazing, so it's I've been very lucky. It was also cool because I wrote a joke with Josh on Thursday, and I rewrote it and I did it every show, Friday and Saturday, and like just working on it, like because I normally would never have the balls to do that. I almost always do new stuff only at open mics, and to test something out, brand new was pretty cool.
It's always very cool when a joke works.
Yeah.
But what's cooler is when you work with somebody that you kind of have a camaraderie with that actually, Josh and I did that 30 years ago. From 95, from the time I met Josh, like in 97 and 98, we worked together. 96 and 97, we knew each other's act. And he would tell me things, I would tell him things. And I'll never forget, by moving to Los Angeles, we lost half that act because it was Seattle attitude, Seattle based, you know. So it's really weird how even in the beginning in LA, we were very helpful to one another. And that's something that you remember forever. That's why we're still so very tight. After all the years and all the LA drama, he got it and I got it, how important we were to each other at one time in our lives. But it's very nice to see that he's doing it with you and his son now.
Oh, it's been so much fun. And it's just like the level that he's at is just like, it's just so like the way he looks at writing and performing has been very cool. And seeing him and Jake have a great time together. It's really, Jake, for people who don't know, is like 26-year-old son, and they do a ton of stuff online. They have a podcast, but he's been doing stand-up for 7 months, and he's doing like 10 to 15 up front and doing like a great job.
Okay. Listen, he grew up around it. When you grow up around it, it's like you sat there like fucking Johnny Mummy eating edibles, but the whole time you were listening. And that's very important to see. People don't have, one of the guys I always talk about is Jason Lucas, one of my dearest friends in LA. I see Jason Lucas, I stop what I'm doing, I give him a big hug. He gives me a big hug because we go back to the Comedy Cabana in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 1997, maybe. No. Yeah, 97, 98. And he came up to me. He was like an MC or an open micer. And he goes, how's LA? And I'm like, yeah, another guy is going to tell me he's moving out there. He's like, I'll be out there in 2 months. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you out there. Say hello at the store. And one night he's in the back watching. And he did that every night. He paid the $15 to go in there. And he just watched all those comics. And it was a whole different set of comics back then. It wasn't Bill Burr or, you know, nothing like that. It was Rogan, Paul Mooney, you know. And then 6 months later, he became a doorman. And then 2 years later, him, Steve Simone, Rick Ramos, they became regulars. And I was there that night. And dog, it was one of the best nights of my life, just seeing Steve Simone got drunk.
Really?
Oh, he was crying. You know, he gets emotional. That was the biggest night of his life. Rick Ramos was on the phone in the hallway with his mother crying. And just to see that, I was like, damn, I wish I had a mother to share my experiences. But just to see that was so cool. The camaraderie in comedy is one of the best fucking camaraderies you'll ever, for me. For me, there's something about you have friends, and then there's certain comics that we just have a camaraderie, you know. And he may live in LA and I live in New York, but when we see each other, we give each other the lowdown and we know what's going up. If I hear about something, I call him. If he hears about something, he calls me. But then to take it back that early, when you were typically broke, because me and Josh were doing comedy we'd split $140 three ways.
For a show?
Yeah, we did. Like if he had a feature spot in Portland, Oregon, and he was making 300, he'd take me with him. I'd sleep in the room next to him and fucking go do spots because I wasn't doing anything else.
That's awesome.
And he'd throw me $50, whatever. I wasn't going down there looking for the money. We did that all the time when I lived in Seattle. We did that for 2 years. After like 6 months, any gig I had, he got. And any gig he got, I got. And it was a constant. And when you're an open micer going into that feature, you'll never forget that. Like, you look at me, a fat fuck now. There was a time when I would, like at lunch, I'd eat ramen. And all I'd wait for is for that show. So I could go to the comedy club and eat something, plus get money after the show. And we'd go to McCormick and Schmidt's and chop up $50. It was a $2 menu back then. You know, that's why I'm so loyal to McCormick and Schmidt's. Whenever we go to San Jose, that's the first place we went to after motherfucking that place, the Italian place.
It's crazy because like a lot of comics talk about like being competitive, or like, and even on podcasts, I hear comics talking about like how competitive it is. But it is also like, I don't, at least at my level, I haven't really experienced that. Like it's all been like everyone's super nice. You go out to eat after a show, you have a drink after a show. It's not like you're taking it from anybody.
You go to an open mic, you go to a couple open mics, you're friends with a good comedian in your area, whether it's Denver, Chicago, Boston, and you go to open mics, and you know, there's some open mics that are better than others.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, there's some open mics that you know, are whatever, and then there's some open mics that an audience goes, they pay attention. The host gives you a couple bucks to drive home. You know, it's a nice open mic. He puts up about 9 people. Now, about the 9 people he puts out, including yourself, there's going to be one person in there that it's you and him. He's a good host, strong, starting to feature strong, and you're in the same position. You got 2 options. You open up your heart to the guy. If he's a scumbag, then fuck him. But if you open up your heart to him and he opens up your heart to you, remember, 2 heads are better than 1. And that's where you learn. Like when I started doing that with Josh, it taught me to learn how to work together. It was like my daycare for comedy. I was at this 5th year, 6th year, and now I was allowed to play in the sandbox with the other savages. And it just wasn't myself and him. There was a couple other people in our crew that Rod Long, we breathed for one another. He was a headliner. So if he got a gig, I was part of it. And if Josh Wolf didn't mind featuring, he'd fucking take the gig. And guess what? The second show, I'd switch with him and I'd host and let Josh feature. That's no ego comedy. But then you move to a competitive place like Los Angeles, right?
Right.
Los Angeles, you start looking at people that you met 5, 6 years ago that couldn't follow you, and now you get to LA and they're getting spots every night.
Right.
Now you have to look at it from a perspective of, I can hate this guy, and there's not going to be one of those guys. There's going to be 3 of those guys. You've been doing comedy for 8, 9 years, 10 years. You know, when you get to LA, you're going to not know the Bill Burrs and shit like that because they bring their own feature. But you're going to know a majority of comics, and a lot of guys you thought you were funnier than, they're going to be kicking ass in LA.
And that, because like I can see it would be annoying because I definitely get jealous of people when I see some of their shows. But it's also sometimes when I look at a comic and I think I'm better than them and I see that they're doing stuff, I'm like, oh, then I can definitely do it if.
Well, that takes time. Like I said, going over that hump takes time. And once you get over that hump and you're in LA, again, you open your heart to your friends. If they're scumbags, that's it. You don't throw them shit no more. I was thinking about a gig. I got this audition. I wanted to be on the show so bad. Called like Kingpin or something on NBC. It was the guy that we did the podcast with from Scarface.
Got it. Okay.
It was Emilio Rivera. It was Danny Trejo. I'm talking, if it's 2024, this has to be 2002, 2003. Wow. I'll never forget getting this audition and going, dog, I would love to get this. It's a guest star. I would love to get this. But the more and more I read it, I saw 2 people. I saw Louis Guzman, and I think he was on the show already. I don't know, because this was like one of the early episodes, like episode 3. I had one of the biggest chances of my life, like going in there for episode 3. But the whole time, Lee, I didn't feel comfortable because the guy for this role was Rudy Moreno.
Okay.
I just felt Rudy. I just felt fucking Rudy for this episode. And I got in there and I learned the audition. I went to a coach. At that time, my coach was $20. He was a black guy that was brilliant, gay guy, but he had HIV. I don't know what happened to him. I lost fucking touch with him. He taught an acting class, and then if he liked you, he worked with you individually. God bless his soul, wherever he is. I remember I had an audition. I got late, and he met me at 1 a.m.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I lived on, like, I don't know, Hollywood and Schrader or Hollywood somewhere, and he lived like maybe 8 blocks away on Gower.
Okay.
And he'd go to the Denny's by Gower, and I'll work with you. And I remember that we went over it inside, but then we went to the parking lot. It's 2 a.m. and me and him were rehearsing in a parking lot. People were walking past us. It was fucking tremendous.
That's a really cool story.
I don't know if I ever got the role or not. I don't remember, but I just remembered it now as I was telling it to you. Because I called him a couple of times late, 8 o'clock. In those days, you would get an audition at 7. 7:15, they call you and go, Joey, we have an audition for you at 11 o'clock tomorrow. You already got a spot at the store at 11:30.
Right.
And you got to go down there to pick up your $15, God forbid.
And I know, obviously know what a coach does, but like, why do you like getting a coach for an audition?
At that point, I needed to book shit. And acting class was great. I was taking cold reading and scene study class, and that was great. But with a coach, he shows you things that he opens up things for you that you're not seeing. Like little things, like I want you to think about the moment before you go in that room and call that woman a fucking bitch. What are you feeling? Like stupid shit. He'll highlight things for you on that paper that only an experienced actor would see, that you don't see still because you're green. It's very helpful. It's
And
very
like, and like, did you ever, was there like a role that you did that you had a coach that like really helped?
I had a couple coaches. One was later on, and she was pretty expensive. But I remember, like, it was like an investment. Like, it was like, you get in this role for scale plus 10%. Let's throw a round figure up there. It's $700, right? And what the fuck? I can never adjust this. It's a nightmare right there. Let's say you're getting 700 for the day. Now, out of that, you got to pay a commission. That's $70. You got to pay taxes. All right. I don't know. Maybe you clear 480, right? Let's just. She wanted like $100 for a half hour.
Jesus.
So think about it. It was very, like, I went to her, like, I remember going to her 2 times in a row and booking 2 co-stars. And I was pretty impressed because the investment was worth it. But by that time, that was a lot of money. This lady coached like fucking real people, you know?
How come you don't think there's that in stand-up? Or is there that? I haven't heard of that.
What's that? Hold on one second. Before we get to stand-up and the craziness that comes with stand-up, one of the best things about doing stand-up where I fucked up was the Laugh Factory in LA offers counseling on Monday nights to comics for the low end of the SAG, whatever. It was like $29. And I guess she had worked with people before, and a lot of people were going to see her, and I made an appointment. I chickened out. And I wish I would have gone to see her at that point. I wouldn't have ended up burnt out or whatever. Sometimes the same happens in life. Check out my thing for BetterHelp.com. You're going to love it. BetterHelp is who I joined when I got here. And now, boom, I'm fucking tip-top magoo. Check this out. What's up, dog?
I'm doing great, buddy.
All right. Let's do it.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel great.
All right.
All right, let's go. So we were talking about why doesn't it work for stand-up? When you ask that question, I have to answer it from 2 ways. You know, I don't fucking know. For me, it wasn't going to work for me. Unless, listen, something that I learned from Phil Jackson was when he was a player, I wanted to stab him in the heart. He was the fucking worst Nick in the world. But you know, that guy went on to win, I don't know, 6 championships with 2 teams or something like that. He saw the game from a different perspective. And I like that. And so I'm coming to you from 2. I can't really agree with you. I can't take somebody's money to coach them, Lee. Unless I really, really like what they're doing on stage. And after a point of coaching, I have to manage them. Because if I think they're that good and they stayed with me for 6 months and I'm not raping nobody, you know.
Well, I mean, just speaking, and it doesn't even have to be you, but if it was someone like a comic that I trusted or someone who I trusted, I would love that. Like, I'm so jealous in a very good way of Eric and everyone who gets to be like a door guy at the store. Because like there's an actual path to like being a halfway decent stand-up, you would think. And there's nowhere else. That's like the only place. So if there was a place where I could go and get like advice that I trusted and on like not even just stand-up, but like career stuff.
How about a
like
gay bar?
I've been there. Eric took me there.
Go in there with like some tight white shirts on and tell him you need some advice.
That's not the advice I'm looking for.
Bust out the lollipops.
Oh.
And there'll be yum-yums before Christmas, cocksucker.
That's bad advice.
The best, closest thing to that is. The closest thing to that is hoping that when you move wherever the fuck you live, New York, Miami, Los Angeles, wherever the fuck you live, that you have two other guys, maybe three, that you really trust. For me, it would be Felipe, Willie Barcena, and like Adam Bernhardt from the store. He teaches stand-up at the store, and he used to, dear friend of mine. And I remember him dissecting stuff for me. For some people, for them to come up to me and dissect my shit, I just saw you bomb 3 times in a row.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're going to come up to me and put the kiss of death on me. Jokes. So I don't know. I got to see where you're coming from. The guy, Matt Woods, who taught the writing class, remember I told you I remember his name?
Yeah.
He ended up becoming a coach for a couple comics. I don't remember their names right now. One I do. And I don't know. I'd rather manage you if you want the way I would and make the choices for you or help you make the choices than make you pay me out of pocket. You follow what I'm saying to you? So if we start for 90 days, 6 months, and I see what I like as far as where you're going, at that level, how you're acting around that. I'm going to sneak up on you at bars. I'm going to sneak up on you on comedy clubs. I have to sit in the back and watch you. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to see you. I'm not there to break your balls. I'm going to know what time your schedule is, and I'm going to slip in the back, tell you a couple things, and we'll talk on Monday. I'll get out of your hair and let you go get your dick sucked or whatever it is you're going to do. I'm not going to go in the green room and, hi, how you doing? Back in the day, I knew Kennison. That doesn't do nothing for me. But I could help, if I had the time and stuff and you were somewhere local or something, I can't judge myself on a tape. So I'm not going to try to judge anybody on a tape.
Right.
I can see when you walk in, I got to fucking see your demeanor before you get on stage. But again, most importantly, what happens? Because I'm putting a big investment into you. So if I see you fucking stumbling out of there a couple of times, I can't work. Then I have to take your money because you're a fucking retard. You're not looking at it for what it is. I'm not looking for John Lennon. I'm looking for it because right now, listen, I really noticed something. The last 10 years I was doing comedy, there was nobody on the road with drug problems.
Oh, wow. Like no comedians.
Look at all those clubs and all the comics that went on every weekend. They're all connected. And you heard little mumblings. There's one comedian that I love him like a brother. That's never going to happen. And I wish he, someday. But besides that, it's not accepted anymore.
To do drugs and be like out of it on the road.
I don't need you coming to my bar. I don't need you coming to my comedy club with your fucking feature act and your fucking MC and 5 of your buddies. I don't appreciate you guys drinking 7 bottles of tequila. I don't need that. And for your fucking door guy to get into a fight with my door guy, I don't need your wife to go out there and act like the first lady of fucking comedy. I don't need that. I got 20 other comics that could come in here and destroy, and they don't even say a fucking peep. They're just lucky to be paying them the money I'm giving them. You're coming in there acting like Led Zeppelin in '73. It ain't gonna pay an out for you.
It's crazy. It's crazy how some people take advantage like that. But
think about it. You don't hear about Listen, when I was in comedy, when I got into comedy, there was a lot of comics with problems. I was one of them, but I didn't matter. There was the features and headliners. And then when I became a feature, there was a little resurgence again. I still remember being a fucking, at my club in Denver, people snorting fucking tons of coke in the green room. The headliner would bring a bag with them. And everybody was back there doing yum-yums. I was not part of the group that people say they got paid in cocaine. No. I remember one time I got money, and they gave us a bonus in cocaine in Texas. But that's when you were doing comedy for the cartel. You didn't even know it.
Jesus Christ. What do you think? Why do you think it's where it is now, where like people aren't getting fucked up? Is it just because you won't get work?
I don't know. It's a different generation. You know, I don't know if Tim Dillon drinks. I don't think, the only guy I know that's a fucking nut is Bert.
Right.
Bert can do whatever the fuck he wants in the club. He can light himself on fire because he's going to break the record for booze anyway.
And he doesn't. I haven't heard anything of him being like out of it at any show.
He don't miss shows. He don't cancel shows because he's hungover. Bert is the ultimate fucking professional when it comes to that shit.
It is. That was the only show that I didn't love my set this weekend. Was the show I was a little hungover for, and I was fine, but in my brain just felt like a little bit like not connected. I don't know if that makes sense.
I'm going to get to that in a second. To finish that story, I went to this audition. My dick was hard. I walked in there at a Monday at 10 a.m. It was in the Valley. In fact, that building where I went into was close to where we lived. It was like up Laurel Canyon, make a right, like two blocks down on the corner. It was on top of a flower shop or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, I walked in there. Fucking everybody was in the room, and there were 3 people in the room. I read. They liked the reading, but the one lady said to me, I got to be honest with you. You did a phenomenal job. You're just not right for this. And I go, thank you. I didn't think so either, but I didn't want to cancel. But I just wanted to grab a piece of paper. I wanted to tell you who is right for the job. And they looked at me, and I go, Rudy Moreno. And she goes, who? And then the one girl went on IMDb, and she goes, yeah, maybe. I go, trust me, it's him. 3 days later, Rudy called me. He got the job.
That's awesome.
They called him right at the house. I would say, I still remember his number. That's how many times I talked to Rudy on the phone. I didn't get Rudy a gig. I got Rudy a fucking guest star. Like, that's when it was like $2,600 for a guest star. And that's how I knew I was opening up my door. My thing, something was going to come my way now. I didn't fight for this because I knew it didn't matter. Even if they took me to producers because whatever. But anyway, who gives a fuck about me? Talk to me about your adventure with the mushrooms.
Oh, shit. So sometimes Late Show Friday, there's a magical show. So we do mushrooms after I go on. And we have a great time. And the first half of the night we were just laughing. The drive back to the hotel, the manager drove us home. It was awesome. It was dying laughing. But I got up to my hotel room, and for like the first time ever, it went dark. Like it was like just like the only way I could think of describing it would be like ultra depression. And I've never it was. I ended up just listening to my set from that night, and it took me out of it. Like it took my focus out of it, so I was fine. But it was like I've never experienced and if I let my thoughts go for a second, it would just go right back into it. It was really crazy. I've never had that happen. Has that happened to you? Has it gotten dark?
When I was younger, 1980, 82, I was doing acid late night, and I would go home and then fuel it with cocaine, and that would light the acid on fire. And I'd play like Pink Floyd, The Wall, and when you listen to that shit, back then, it took you through a magnitude of emotions. Like you cried, you giggled, you laughed, you cried, and then you wiped your tears giggling like, I'm fine now, You're going through a fucking trip. The other night I was going through the TV, and I hit that scene with Denzel and Man on Fire.
Which one?
Excuse me, when he's in his room. I didn't say excuse you to you.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me for burping. He was in his room, and he's hammered. And he's doing all this shit. I still remember doing that on acid.
Really?
Yeah, acting like just having a conversation with yourself. You're in there deep. You're deep in the murky waters. You're going through shit. I'm not going to tell you I had a gun in my hand with no. That's not what I'm saying. But I still remember, he was doing it with a bottle. Yeah, when I saw that scene, I really enjoy. I go, he's hitting home right now, because that's what happens when you get high by yourself. And at one point in the night, the acid, the cocaine, the speed, it becomes a psychosis. The alcohol, you go into like a fucking weird psychosis. It's enjoyable for some. It's not enjoyable for others. It's scary. You wake up a little depressed in the morning because how you acted in the mirror the night before.
I've never looked in the mirror, but yeah, it was definitely strange. And like my brain, like I slept. I was up until like 6. I thought about calling you for a second at like 5. I was like, should I call Joey?
So I don't hear that fucking phone. It's crazy. You wake up in the morning and there's fucking 3 missed calls. People get hammered. Friends of mine, and dog, I don't hear that fucking thing ring at all. Like right now, when I finish with this, there's a football game. I got to eat dinner. I'll plug this phone in. I'll come back here at 10. It's not like anybody's calling me at 8 for auditions anymore. Like I said to you, 15 years ago, from fucking 6 o'clock to 7, you better be home with a pen and a piece of paper.
Because everyone will call you after at the end of the day.
I go to the supermarket with Terry, and all of a sudden I get a fucking call. Hey, I got to talk to you. Jeff, call me back in 15 minutes. I have to pay the fucking Ralph thing, and we shoot home. And I get in. What's going on? Listen, you got to call back from producers, but I got you an audition for something else. Your call back is at 3:30, but this is at 3. So, it was fucking... But I told them you'd be there by 4. So you're going to go into the room first. I already set that up. And then you're going to shoot to Marina Del Rey. I mean, it was shit like that.
Fuck.
And Thursday night, you got a showcase for CBS at the Improv. Like, it used to be heavier then. I was younger. I was involved in more. The older you get, the opportunities diminish. Nobody wants to see you on Dave Letterman unless you've been on David Letterman since you were 22.
Wow, okay.
Unless, whatever. They're looking for young, up-and-coming talent. Unless a guy like me, like Ron White, puts out a tremendous HBO special. And now everybody wants to see him, which I think he'll do now. Ron White's back on the road. I'm fucking excited to see.
Oh, I know. I was bummed when I never got to see him.
Yeah, he's back on the road now. I know he's doing San Antonio and something else. But I got to tell you what happened to me, what I've got myself involved in. Okay. Did you know? I tell you?
I don't think so.
Me and a bunch of moms are taking fucking 6 kids Friday night to the Garden to see Jelly Roll and a bunch of bad music that the kids like.
You're going to the Garden?
Yeah.
So wait, are you going? I am in shock because I would have never have guessed you would go to the Garden. I'm assuming you got pretty good seats.
It's Jelly Roll, so I don't know where he's going to put me, but wherever he puts us, beggars can't be choosy.
Okay. Oh, that's cool that he's giving you tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I'll knock it down Friday and see what the money's at on Friday, what's crack-a-lacking with these bitches, and then we're trying to get 2 other mothers and 3 other kids tickets. So they've been online. We've been talking, chit-chatting. So I'm just going to wait, talk to my man Jelly. And you know what? You ever been excited about something like?
Yeah.
When my daughter found out, she put on a costume from Olivia Rodrigo, one of her videos. I was down here, and she was up there jumping down, talking to my wife about it. She was so excited. She banged her head on the kitchen cabinet. They had to put ice on her.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's got a shiner today. She was bleeding a little bit. So that's the deal for Friday.
I was just thinking, is this the first concert you guys have been to together?
Yes. We went to that show, Ching Chang, with the Chinese people. They do the acrobats, and we've been to a couple of things.
I don't think it's called Ching Chang.
I forget what the name of it is.
Oh, but that's pretty cool. I mean, we talked for hours on the church about all the concerts you went to as a kid.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty cool that you got, because you didn't. I don't think. Did you ever go to one with your mom?
Are you fucking retarded? I wouldn't take my mom to a concert. Yeah, I'm gonna take my mom to see fucking Black Sabbath at the Garden. Are you fucking crazy?
I don't know if she made it.
My mom and I used to go like the Harlem Globetrotters and the Circus. That was the extent of it, and a lot of fucking Met games.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Met games. So that was the extent of it. I see little girls with the hairdo. What's the girl that's popular now?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Taylor Swift with the Taylor Swift hairdos, and their fathers have to take them. The tickets are $2,000, but when you come to think of it, they got you on a string. It's your kid. It's what I wouldn't do for me. I wouldn't pay. 10 years ago, I would want to go see Roger Waters with Ari. We got the acid, the whole thing. I told Ari, I got a preconceived number. It's 200. 200 is the highest I'll fucking pay. And I got down there, and nobody had them less than that. We went to eat at Philippe's, and we came home and watched the movie. We tripped for a little while on the train back, and that was the end of it. Nobody got their feelings hurt, But if somebody came to me for an experience with my child, that's just not like a Led Zeppelin concert. That's an experience. They're going to see a bunch of YouTubers, and listen, it's the holiday season. What wouldn't you do for your kids?
Exactly. It's amazing how expensive stuff for kids is.
Listen, but here's where I win. I win because I don't have to take her to fucking American Doll fucking mall. She don't like that shit. And she don't even talk about Mickey Mouse and Disneyland.
No.
I go up to her and go, you want to go to Disneyland, Orlando? She'll go, not really. Thank you. She's done with that shit. So I'm very fucking lucky. Hold on. I'll tell you what I'm not done with. Putting in a good bet tonight. It's Monday night, cocksuckers. The Jaguars are giving 10 to fucking Cincinnati, who have no quarterback. I know the point spread started at 9.5. It went up to 10, but it's Monday. It's the holiday season. They're looking to stick a nail into your head like Jesus on Monday. But you know what? Who gives a fuck? The under is low tonight. It's under 40. But anyway, talk is cheap. Let's talk to DraftKings about what's crack-a-lacking. We're back! Anyway.
I did great yesterday on DraftKings.
I
had the Patriots and the Chargers under 38.5. And at halftime, they let me cash out, and I only gave up $7. And I was like, I'll just take it just in case some weird shit happens.
Did anything happen?
No, it was the Patriots lost 6-0.
Don't ever cash out, Mukaruk.
For $7, I think.
Nah. 7.
What if they came back? What if they came back?
New England couldn't come back against fucking a peewee team yesterday. Who you kidding?
That's true.
Dog, I died a slow death yesterday, but I deserved it.
Why?
Listen, I'm the type of guy, I tell you how it is. If I deserve it, I deserve it. Why? Because when I woke up in the morning, before I left at like 10, I didn't even know who was playing. There's 1,000 games on Thursday. You lose count anymore. I opened up the thing, and the first game was Miami giving 9.5 points to the Washington Commanders. And the second game was a game that, Detroit giving 4.5 to New Orleans and in New Orleans.
Jesus.
Well, guess what I did?
What did you do? I know one of them.
As much as I loved fucking Detroit and I bet them every time they play, I fucking bet New Orleans. Maybe they lose by 3 and I cover by 1. Instead, fucking Detroit won by 5 and I got fucked in the fucking muffler. So,
fuck.
But then
that always happens.
I mean, listen, I lose $25. You know what I'm saying? And then I bet 25 on the over late night, and that came back, and everybody was fucking happy. I did not touch that Kansas City whatever game. But I'll tell you what was
Bay,
very interesting. I was watching something with my wife. My wife went upstairs. I wanted to see what the score was. It was 21-19. Right away, I go, let me just check DraftKings. If you bet $25 on Kansas City on the money line, it paid 110. Don't think I wasn't tempted.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come back.
Thank God I wasn't logged in. It was arithmetic. 4 minutes left. This is a no-brainer. This guy's going to throw 2 touchdowns in fucking 4 minutes. Dog, I turned it off because I wasn't logged in anyway. And as I went to log in and just take the chance, Columbus did, fucking Minnesota or whoever, Green Bay scored, and I said, fuck it, thank God I didn't. It was thank God that they make you log in. See, that's why I like DraftKings, cocksucker.
That saved me a million fucking times.
But no, my friend's going to drive us. He's got a company.
Oh, nice.
Pick us up here with all the moms. We're not stopping in New York City. We're going to stop up north, get something to eat after we go through the traffic Friday afternoon. It's going to be a busy fucking day.
Smart.
The doors open at 5. We're going to be there at 6. And instead of having to park and all that shit, we just get out of the car and walk in with the girls, go in, sit on our tickets. I'm not going to take edibles or nothing because I got to watch these kids. This is going to be pure torture. I'm going to have to put 3D glasses on or something just to enjoy the fucking thing. Then hopefully wait for Jelly, and then hopefully take the girls backstage and the moms and say hello and get the fuck out of here. Hopefully be back by like midnight. We got a 9:30 basketball game.
Holy shit.
Can you believe what I'm talking about now compared to what I used to talk about?
No. Not at 9:30.
Today you said you were kind of tired.
Mm-hmm.
I said to you that was the flight, the spot the night before. It's rough eating mushrooms and being on the road, the hotel. I go, how old are you? You said 35. I go, I was doing that when I was 55. And doing it 3 times a month and doing 8 podcasts a month. God knows what we're putting in our veins in those fucking nights. You know, so you people have to understand.
wow.
Like, I was on such a fucking go that, you know, this is like paradise now. I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, when we started, we were doing the podcast at 6 a.m. So there were 2 other days you were up early.
6 a.m. So it was those weeks. I remember putting on like 30 fucking pounds. I went up to 346 pounds when I baptized Mercy.
Wow.
Well, I was eating a lot with my wife and fucking whatever, but the sleep was not there. I was waking up Monday and Wednesday morning with you at 4:45. Then I would take the early flight out on Thursday. I would do radio on Friday. Saturday, I'd sleep in. And then Sunday, I was going to bed for 3 hours. I was getting back to my hotel room at 1, getting picked up at 4:45, 6 a.m. You know, that's not sleep. You watch 2 Law and Orders, you eat a slice of fucking Domino's poison, and then you burp and fart all night, and all of a sudden the alarm's going off. It's time to wake up. There ain't nothing there.
Oh yeah, I've done it a few times, but it's definitely like that early flight. I hate that early flight. Every time I do it, I get mad at you because I just know. But I know you're right. But it's getting up at that 7 a.m. flight is rough.
Listen, in the words of Red Fox, if you gotta do something, do it and get it the fuck over with.
Right.
Get it over with. So even whatever, you're in your bed that night and you're relaxed. Your clothes are in the laundry already. They're percolating. They're taking the smell of staminka and bars and fast food joints. And, you know, it's really hard for people to not know the damage you put on as a comedian when you start traveling. You're flying commercial. These guys are flying fucking private. That's tremendous. You go on there, you bring somebody to give you a fucking toe rub. But I'm talking about commercial. You know, when you're roughing it, it's a tough fucking world. And it's a world that, like I said to you, I burnt out so much on flights. I don't want to see a fucking plane. I don't need to go anywhere right now.
I don't blame you at all. I actually was wondering that though. Have you? Because like it seems like there's like crazy shit happening on planes. People going crazy. People shitting themselves. Did you ever see like weird, like a crazy thing happen on a plane?
when the guy tried to steal my seat, he wanted me to sit where he was sitting at 5 a.m. And I was like, guy, that's my seat. Yeah. But my friend's sitting there. So if you don't mind sitting my seat behind the window, I'm like, get up. It was fucking early in the morning. It's a 5-hour flight. The edible didn't kick in yet. And you're sitting in my chair with fucking shoes on, with no socks on. I will fucking stab you in the fucking lung. Get the fuck up, you miserable cocksucker. And then the fucking lady came, and I'm like, he's in my chair. And he left. There's a lot of shit like that. But what's going on today is unacceptable. People jumping out of planes and shit in New Mexico. Come on. That guy's that guy did a fucking edible. Because I'll tell you what, I almost did that a few times. If you want me to lie to you and sit in here and say, no, I'm Uncle Joey, I could do this, I could do that, you go fuck yourself, Jack. There was a couple times I was on that plane thinking, this is my time. And then I didn't say nothing to anybody. I didn't complain. I never told anybody. And then one day I was talking to Ari, and he goes, oh, my God, did I tell you what happened on the flight the other day with Rogan? No, what happened? He goes, we're sitting in first class, and the edible hit me. And he goes, I really considered getting off the plane. And I'm like, does that happen to you a lot? He goes, whew, sometimes. And I go, it's been happening to me a lot lately. Like I would sit on a plane, go, I'm excited. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there, you hear the engines going, and you're like, oh, this edible, this might be the time that the flight goes down. You start getting a lot of fucking, you're due. You've been on 90 flights in 2 years. You know, there's got to be a terrorist on this flight.
If that kept happening, why would you do it?
It's fun. It's psychological warfare. You got to be prepared in case the Hamas come and get you. And they're playing heavy metal music and giving you edibles.
I am worried about that. Jesus Christ. That you would freak out that much?
You know, I had my moments, man. God forbid what I put myself through when I was 17, 16, emotionally unstable, and eating that window pane. And that's 8 hours, Lee, of beating and thinking and your heart making noises. And, you know, this is somebody's chasing you. Somebody's outside. Somebody's in the closet. That's cocaine. That came later. But anyway, it's all the same thing. There's something I wanted to talk to you about because we don't really, this is just our own little thing.
Mm-hmm.
People don't even understand what the fuck we're doing. This is about us. I don't, you know, everything else is background music. You say something wrong. But I don't care about that. Listen, it's all over. I'm too old. You want to if you didn't cancel me with the one-legged woman, you ain't gonna cancel me now, cocksuckers. But I want to talk to you about what's going on with Matt Rife.
Okay.
And it is so crazy how people. I was shooting a movie in June, and one of the young assistants, we were driving to the set with another girl, another guy. And she goes, Joey, have you ever worked with Matt Rife? And I'm like, I don't even know who Matt Rife is. Then the girl came up with his picture, and I go, I'll tell you what. I remember meeting him and seeing him somewhere, but I'm not going to tell you that I'm his best friend, if that's what, you know.
Right.
Maybe seeing him at the store, and I remember that he was a nice kid, very respectful, like he was just a nice kid. I don't know if I watched him. I'm not going to tell you I watched him. He was, you know, spectacular. I don't even remember. And then I started hearing his name more and more and more and more. And then, you know, it's not like I'm going to look up fucking stand-up right now at that place in my life, you know. And then more people were asking me. And then I started seeing clips of him. And, you know, he's just a young, good-looking guy. He's good as a comic, but he's got years to develop. He's young, you know. When he's 35, he's going to be a killer.
Oh, yeah. I think he's like 26, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so 9 years. He just needs some heavy-duty shows, Chappelle, this, that. He needs to do a couple Puerto Rican shows. You know, he needs to just. So supposedly, I watched that, and I watched that joke when he said that. And I remember silently saying to myself, at least he's got balls. You know?
I liked his response. Did you see what he tweeted?
Tremendous. And right now I see all this fucking hate for this kid. He's canceled. Listen, if he's canceled, guys, he's canceling out with 15 mil. That's fucking, you know, that's 14,099,900 more dollars than you, okay? You know, he ain't going nowhere. If he's smart, and I know they got a business manager for him, that dude is buying something, you know, a fucking Apex fucking missile or something, and he's good, guys. So don't worry about it. He's canceled. He's not canceled. He threw a jab at people because some stand-ups still exist from time to time. And there's some stand-ups that people forget that when you become a stand-up, you're not a tool for society. You're a tool against society. You're telling your take on it. I don't want you to go out there and, you know, be a fucking revolutionary. You know, nobody, and that's what happens to comics. They become revolutionaries. That's, you know, so he's got a lot to develop. He's got the world by the balls. And for you people who say he's canceled, go back to your fucking soup, whatever kind of soup you're eating, tomato soup. Go look into the word testosterone in your life. You know, you got to stop canceling people. This movement has to fucking stop for dumb reasons. You know, it's a joke. It didn't affect your life. But anyway, that was my main thing. I'm not going to talk against being woke or any of that shit. That has nothing to do with that. I just think people are fucking confused, and it shows the amount of Lee, I've cut my internet use.
Smart.
I had it. And every once in a while I look and I remember why. There's a girl I follow on Instagram. I don't have a crush on her. I'm not stalking her. I've never said a thing to her. She's an Italian girl. It's called the Italian Princess. Lee, the food this girl eats, you got to follow her. And she's hysterical. I don't know how much this girl eats. I don't know how she puts it away. I'm eating a pizza right now. I'm eating a mozzarella and prosciutto sandwich at 10 in the morning, my fucking morning sandwich. You know, it goes all day. It ends at a restaurant with fucking 20 things, Lee. It is one of the most interesting things I've seen. The girl's got to be 24 fucking years old, 25 years old. I don't know if she's an influencer. I don't know how many followers she has. In my world, it's not like she's on there in a bikini. She's very respectful. The reason why I started following her was because she's a young girl and she still speaks Italian to her grandmother.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
That did something to me. Like, I moved back here. Nobody's on the streets yelling in Italian no more. Nobody even knows fucking Italian. It's like they should all be ashamed of themselves. But that's why I liked it, because she was talking to Italian, to a grandmother, while they were discussing making fucking soup or something like that. Go away, cocksucker. Anyway.
You know, there's a lot of bad stuff, but there's also like a lot of good stuff online if you can find it.
So very interesting. She's tremendous. So I just looked at her thing, you know, and I'm scrolling down the last two videos she put up, and right there, in the front, right there, some fucking guy is like, now I can see if you're telling us you got nice tits or whatever. You put a picture up of a female, you're going to get that, whether they're in a dress or whether they're in a bikini. No, this was like, this girl should be taken down. All she does is eat, and she's eating the wrong feet. She should do this. And everybody was discussing her diet. And I'm like, what the fuck are people seeing that I'm not fucking watching?
People have lost their mind online.
And then there was
on both sides of it, on content and the comments.
That's why I had to slow it down. That's it. I do my Monday, I post on my Patreon, and I keep it light because it is fucking hell on wheels out there. There was something else I saw about a week ago, and I'm like, this person has not done anything wrong at all. You know, and you just, whatever you post now, I don't even look, Lee. I'm too old to even look anymore.
What do you think about like your daughter watching YouTube?
They have it restricted upstairs. My wife did something. Listen, eventually they're all going to watch fucking YouTube. But eventually there's a kid in the group that's a little older. She's 13. There's two of them. There's one of them that just says hello, but there's one of them that always looks at me and smiles like she knows something.
Okay.
I thought about it for a while. She knows something. And she always goes like, hi, Listen, they're going to see. If she got a problem, come to me and talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All I was gonna say was not even like a problem with like you and seeing your stuff. I'm just saying, like all the shitty stuff on YouTube. You're gonna set this computer on fire.
I'm gonna set you on fire when I see you in the car seat. Remember, I used to burn you with the lighter, and when you'd hold the joint, I'd slip. I'd make believe I'd slip, and I'd burn his fingers. Ow!
Well, you did it every time. You would always light my finger.
After you were nice and high, so you didn't know what was happening.
And you just freak me out and just do the lighter, and I'd jump. I was half asleep.
But yeah, that's where the fuck I'm at, guy.
That's awesome, dude.
What was the last question, brother?
Just about kids with YouTube. We were talking about that.
Listen, kids are gonna see what they're gonna see.
Right.
I told Mercy a long time ago, if she goes hunting and she sees something she don't like, that's what happens for going hunting. You got a question, you come talk to me. If some kid at school says something to you, come talk to me. We'll watch the video. Some kid at school went there one day and showed her the TikTok of Tom Segura saying I dosed him and I did acid and coke for 20 years. When she saw that, what do you want me to tell her? So that's why it all led to me to opening up my trap about the weed. I don't want her upstairs thinking he did heroin and coke for 20 years. So I got to give her something. I'm like fucking Poison. Give him something to believe in. You got to give him the whammy. You got to give him the fucking weed. She knows I don't drink. She knows. She sees my behavior. She knows I'm up with her. She doesn't know about heroin or cocaine at all. She knows a little bit about Narcos. That's it. I never watched Godfather Harlem with him. She watched Scarface, but she didn't watch the cocaine thing.
Oh, just the beginning?
Yeah, like the beginning or something else. Then she doesn't really like it. She doesn't know that. It would make her mind blow up. I wouldn't even take her there. It's not even in our world. It's not around here. It's got nothing to do with her or me or you,
I'm so happy the relationship you guys have. It's so cool. Like you were saying earlier, can you imagine this is what I'm talking about with the basketball game? Like she's getting old. She's getting old and like it's just cool to see you so happy.
It's not that I'm happy. It's that it was time, brother. It was time this makes me happy. This makes me happy. Seeing you once a week and talking to you every night about comedy and shit, I'm good after that. I'm living vicariously through you. That's all I need. I smoke my weed at night and I'm like, how would it be if I drove with Lee to the open mic tonight?
That'd be fucking crazy. So
yeah, that's where I'm at, my friend.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too. So thank you. And what do you got this week?
This week I have open mics every night, and then on Sunday I'm in Raynham, Massachusetts at the Asian Palace at 1:00. I'm doing my first Chinese food restaurant.
All right. Well, that's good. That's all you got next week?
That's all I got next week. Got a bunch of stuff coming up, but that's all that I have for this week.
I was thinking about that New Year's Eve gig. I love you too much. Stay home, mind your business. I was going to try to get you a New Year's gig in the city, like a 10-minute guest spot. 10 minutes ain't enough to risk your fucking life. God knows what they're going to do in New York City. And maybe you wake up New Year's Day and nothing happened. But why come all the way to New York and go back, for the small 10 minutes? Do 10 minutes in front of the mirror with a fucking fire Happy New Year hat on and one of those noisemakers by yourself after you're in fucking training. I need you in training, cocksucker.
Oh, of course.
3 nights a week, like Uncle Joey. Don't forget one of the most important fucking things. The holiday season is coming. I haven't eaten them in about 2 weeks because I'm getting ready for the holiday season. But at Fung Factory Farms, either on Instagram or on Telegram, right? Go on Telegram, go to Fung Factory Farms and get yourself a couple cookies and you chill with grandma over the holidays. Nobody knows nothing. You could watch the fucking bowl games, eat a few mushrooms, and put Uncle Joey Savage and get 10% off. That's how we're rolling. Like I said, a couple of weeks ago, I went off this reservation with him, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. By Sunday, it was too deep. I was deep in the murky waters. And I took a break. That's it. Tonight was the first time I ate edibles since last Monday, probably.
Wow, you took almost a week off.
Yeah, every time I eat these things, like, I got to clean out the fucking cabinet. I find myself eating candy canes. Like the one night I must have ate 10 bubblegum candy canes. I don't even like that shit. And then the next night I attacked the regular candy canes.
On Friday, when I was having that trip, the only thing I had in my room was rice cakes. I ate 21 rice cakes in about 15 minutes. It was
What flavor were they?
caramel and chocolate. It's all I had, and I couldn't go downstairs. And then I just didn't. I'm still cheap. I didn't want to pay $50 to have cold McDonald's delivered. So I just had the rice cakes.
McDonald's, when you're on mushrooms, would mentally destroy you in the middle of that meal.
You think so?
I know so.
I was just trying to get out of the.
You're not supposed to eat McDonald's. So while you're eating it, you're going to think about that. And then actually that night, you're going to actually taste a leg. Like it's going to taste like somebody's leg. And the mushroom's going to take it to a different level. And that's the end of that, cocksucker.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get it then.
Yeah, me too. So get your life together. No more mushrooms. No more fast food.
I know I don't have fast food. I don't.
I'd rather you eat fucking the corn chips with the chili flavor on them.
Those are fucking good. That's my idea.
But anything tastes bad on mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't eat. I don't do anything really.
You gotta sneak out of the room and smoke some herb, and fucking to calm that tiger down, and then that'll bring up some appetite. Then you eat and you go right to bed. Maybe I might have to bang one out with a little pinky in your asshole. You never know. It's a different world out there. I love you, Lee. Let's talk next week. And now for a word from our sponsors.
The lighting looks different. It looks like a greenish and a blue today.
You know how we do it, Doug. We're trying to diversify over here. You know what I'm saying? How was your day, Tarzan?
It was fine. You know, it's a big difference. Like you would talk about going from, being on the road to being at the store and the stuff dying. For me, I'm having the most fun the weekend. Like it couldn't be more fun doing 2 shows a night. And then I go back to like day job on Monday. Like, ooh, it's very different.
Very fucking different.
Yeah.
Doing comedy the whole time, you're thinking about quitting your fuck. You're like, why am I going to go back on Monday? It's like a surreal world that you live in when you're like in between, because you can't really quit your day job to MC.
Right.
You know? So, but once you start featuring, you got to shit or get off the fucking pot.
Yeah.
And you have to decide about the job. And that's when you look at your budget. You look at what's coming in, what you're expected to come in, what's in your bank account. Do I need a fucking Corvette? Not really. I just need a Nissan. I could sell that. When I started when I got serious about comedy, I had nothing. I was coming off a divorce. I was basically fucking living from day to day. But I knew that like I had to have my apartment went from like $980 to $400. Like everything got cut. The phone, you don't need it. A cable TV, you don't need it. When you're doing comedy, you just don't need these things. And that's what forces you. It's like to get good at comedy for like 2 or 3 years to get into the rhythm, you have to force yourself. It's like a prison. You go to work, you go home, you eat, you write, you go to the gym, then you go do 2 open mics, and then you go home. And then on the weekends, you fucking work till Friday, and then and it's hard. It's fucking hard, man. It's hard to balance both. And at one point, you're going to bust. And one day, you just walk out of the office.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's just, and it's not like my day job is not bad, but it's especially weekends that where stuff goes well and like the shows are fun. And then like, being, I've always, the road is always like so romantic to me. Like just the idea of like being in a hotel in a city like I've never been to. It's just like, it just sounds awesome. So it's just like the entire thing is fun.
Like to me, that was the allure of it. I like to
Yeah.
travel. I like the, but it was weird going back into, like, for me, I have to remember I took a job and I was selling cars, and he made the job flexible enough, and it was working. I wasn't becoming rich, but I was at least, keeping the lights on. But then things would happen to tell me this isn't what I'm going to do anymore. Like I get a sign from God or whoever the fuck it was, the comedy gods. Like, I would always have, like, the last 2 salesman jobs I had, the cars blew up.
Like when you were driving them?
Yeah, like I went to do comedy and I kept the job and they would give me a car to drive. And one time I just left the car. One time I got stuck in a brand spanking new, and it was for Bert's manager, Judy Brown, Bert, Sebastian's manager.
Right.
She had a gig like at a ski resort, and it didn't have a hotel. The feature and the headliner had a hotel, but I didn't get a hotel. So I basically drove up there for the small 30, whatever the fuck it is. And at the end of the show, I was having a good time. And I got in my car. It was one of those brand new Jeeps. Like it was, brand spanking new. It had to be 94 Jeep. And the fucking timing belt or something blew out on it.
Jesus. I was talking to Josh about that this weekend, about like if like your car breaks down on the way to, like, I get anxiety about stuff like that now. Like I'm gonna get into an accident.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, And then one night was the time I told you I went up to like Wyoming, and the guy had to leave because his wife was cheating on him. And on the way back, the car started going on fire. The car just lit itself on fire, dog, on the road. It was fucking snowing. We had to walk like a mile in the snow with our little bags, overnight bags. I never heard from those people again. Like that car just blew up on I-70 somewhere. And I never heard from those people again. And I would go home and go, I wouldn't even be upset. I just knew it was a sign telling me to go for it. And I wouldn't go for it. I was such a fucking pussy. Like I always wanted that. Well, I had child support. I had a bunch of fucking things. I had an addiction. I had child support. It wasn't like I was putting it into my house, like painting the room or nothing. I had an apartment. I never turned the stove on. I ate all my 3 meals out. And I snorted coke and I fucking paid child support.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, because you're a very organized person, I can imagine you writing a budget with coke. And did you ever like budget coke into your like expenses?
In those days, hell yeah. I had a monthly stipend for it. Because why lie to yourself?
Right.
I wasn't gonna lie to myself. I was putting away like anywhere from $150 to $300 a week in those days. And I was broke. And I was fucking broke. Just, selling coke, selling an ounce of weed. I'm just putting it all together while I'm doing comedy. Bro, in the beginning in LA, I think till 2002 in LA, I was doing creepy shit, And now here I was at the Comedy Store. I was selling pounds of weed to agents and, So
you got to do what you got to do, especially like even back then, it probably wasn't a lot of money, but features make at most usually, unless the headliner is very nice, like $100 a show.
Yeah. So if you got 5 shows and no hotel as a feature, which is the status quo now.
Right. Yeah.
They don't want a fucking hotel now, It's you break even, so you need another job.
It's very scary to think about doing it. So, but like that's because I've been thinking about you I think about like the stuff we talked about on the church a lot, and something I forget who it was. I was listening to another podcast, and the podcaster was talking. A comic was talking about like doing a vision board on like New Year's Eve. So like I've been working on something like that, like a plan, and like. Do you believe in any of that stuff or not really? Because you take a plan very seriously. I know that.
Of what? Like, I'm sorry, I
Like
just got this is my
oh no, that's okay.
and I couldn't. The message wouldn't come up on my fucking phone, and I knew he was going to hit me back. So, but anyway, I'm very sorry. A vision board.
No, just like a plan for like the next year. So like I have a
Always.
plan.
You have to have a yearly plan, a 6-month plan, and a 3-month plan, and a 30-day plan. And that was me, that was what I did, people, I just saw Sebastian the other day on a podcast talking about how he never wrote his goals down. And he's one of the biggest stars in comedy. So who the fuck gives a fuck what I think? What I'm saying is everybody's different. Everybody reacts to different things. I wanted to see my efforts. I wanted to make sure that 15 sets was done. Like you could do whatever you want, Joey. You could do whatever you want. You could snort coke. You could stay out. But you got to give me 15 sets a month. And then the numbers became higher and higher. And then it got to 30, 35 sets a month,
Yeah. And I think I'm sure like I don't do it. And I'm sure there's a lot of comics who don't do it, but if it obviously worked for you. So that's why like I'm trying. That's why I like listening to comedians' podcasts because I try to get little things of what they do, and especially the ones who have successful podcasts are doing something right.
You sat there with me for years,
Right.
listening to other comics' fears, their goals, how they did certain things, whether it was writing. Every comic brought something different to the table. Every musician that we had brought something different to the table. I got to be honest with you. The guy I learned the most from in all the years of podcasting was Rudy Sarzo. And I still confer with Rudy for big decisions.
How's Rudy doing?
Rudy's fucking great. I talk to Rudy once a week, though. That's my brother.
And that's great. And he's still I see him on Instagram and Twitter all the time. So I'm sorry for interrupting. Why do you take so much from him?
Rudy gave us something on every episode. And whether people took it or not, I loved when people would hit me up and go, why do you put Rudy on there for? And I didn't give a fuck. Rudy always has a place to speak with me because he's not just a bass player. He's an artist and he's got 50 years in. So whatever stupid story you got, don't match up to him. He woke up on the bus one day, a plane went down, it was his fucking best friend, on a fucking tour. What do you do on a Saturday night? Whatever. I don't know if it was a Saturday when he died, Randy Rhoads. But he taught me the most important thing I ever learned from anybody in comedy. He taught me the words labor of love.
In what way?
That changed my whole career. That changed everything for me when I heard those words and days later when it sank in. What we do is a labor of love. They pay us for traveling. They pay us to have to deal with fucking people talking to you in your ear. I want to go to Monaco with you, whatever the fuck they're saying. That's what you're getting paid for. When you're performing, whether it's a violin, whether it's a harmonica, whether it's comedy, whether it's spoken word, it's a labor of love. You're giving yourself away, a piece of yourself away. If you're not doing it for the labor of love, go fucking do something different. Go do something different. And that's how my life was when I first got into comedy. It was all a labor of love. I didn't give a fuck about what you were paying me. Oh, you're going to pay me $50? Perfect. I could eat that, And then it became something else. And then it became a financial, and then I didn't like it anymore because that's why I enjoyed the book signing so much. There was no money. They had to buy a book for $20. You know, they're going to get it anyway on Audible or whatever. I didn't want to charge you to take a picture or to fucking shake my hand. You know, I didn't want to charge you $20 to the book signing. I wanted to be there. And if you noticed, I was on time to all of them. I brought joints for everybody on all of them. That was a labor of love for me. There was no money involved. Listen, I'm not in the mood of taking a microphone tonight. And I'm not in the mood to answer questions, but I got 2 or 3 minutes for you. I wanted to talk to them because when I did stand-up, it was just a stupid fucking picture. That's not really a contact point. I learned a lot from those fucking book signings. I learned a lot about myself. Now I got to see if it transfers over to other things.
What did you learn about yourself with the book signing?
That I really love people again. And that doing stand-up and that higher level pushed me away from these people. That's not what I ever wanted to do. That's why I never saw myself in an arena or a stadium. I never saw those things. One of the greatest memories I remember hearing is that Gabriel did like 3 shows on Christmas Eve at the John Lovett's Comedy Club. And I heard that the last show, he took them all to fucking pancakes. He took
Denny's.
All to fucking Denny's. Yeah. You heard the story.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that fucking lasts forever. That's something that I wish, you know. And every time I had an opportunity to do it, like during the pandemic, it fell apart on me, whether it was getting a movie theater to show the fucking Many Saints in Newark, the Patreon people, which I'm happy, you know, now looking back. But it taught me that again. That's why I didn't want, like when I did that last show in New York in January with you,
right?
I knew I didn't want to get on stage a long time. I knew it that night. Like, I'm fucking getting out of here. And it wasn't a Sony Hall. I love Sony Hall. I loved it. I just did not want to do it anymore. And until I fall in love with it again, I love doing this thing with you on Monday nights. It's no pressure. I don't give a fuck if we're on the Apple Top 100. I don't care if iTunes don't like it. I don't give a fuck if YouTube don't like it. Guess what? The only one that's got to like it is us. So in my world, that's called a labor of fucking love. If I'm out here taking pictures all day and making videos to watch the podcast, that's one thing. I enjoy doing the DraftKings things. I really do, doing the videos. You know, I like doing stupid fucking video, whatever. I'm limited with those. And that doesn't make me happy. But back to what we were talking about, Rudy taught me, you know, I learned from Ralphie on there. I learned from Theo Vaughn on there. I got a bunch of lessons from those things. When you looked at people and you're like, really? You did that? That was very interesting to me back then. You know, when we were doing the podcast 2015, 16, it was really great. You know, it was a fucking bad for me and you because we were destroying our bodies.
We had fun. I mean, we had a blast, but it's just the knowledge. That's one of the reasons I love podcasts.
It was a labor of love. We were doing it with no rule book. That's why for you to look at a podcast now that somebody did for you to look at a podcast of somebody who had the balls to do a podcast 13, 12, 10 years ago and say, well, on that podcast, you said something wrong. I want you to remember one thing. There was no rule book. There was no rule book on YouTube. There was no fucking rule book. So,
and it's something that I think gets talked about a lot, and it's the people who came to watch didn't have it's people might look back at it who weren't church fans or it wasn't for them, and they might get upset. But it's not like we got a bunch of hate back then.
No, there was no rules.
Right.
Acid Church. Nobody takes the head of acid and does a fucking podcast for 4 hours. All right. On a Sunday night with fucking people calling in and Duncan sending pictures of dirty people. And, you know, there was no rules. And It was a labor of love. I think for like a year, I was getting robbed on the ads because I didn't know how to read the ads. So I would just read them every show, and they were only paying me for one read. And they're like, your sponsors love you. Yeah, because I read them every fucking show for free. That was like a year. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a fucking idiot, but
that's crazy.
It was a labor of love. It gave us a window like now to just connect, fuck around. And if you're in, you're in. If you're not, take a chance. Columbus did. Take a fucking shuttle.
I was thinking about that time today because I don't remember the exact day. I don't know if you, I wonder if you do, but it's around now that you recorded It's Either You or the Priest. It's right. It was right before Christmas.
Huh? Right. We released it in January.
Yeah. Because I remember
10 years ago, 11.
Yeah. It might even be more than that.
Yeah.
Might have been 2012. It's about, yeah.
You know what I was thinking about before? I was watching the fucking news before. This afternoon, it was raining terribly. I made a video of me and Gray eating a piece of pizza.
I saw that.
Dog, she tears pizza fucking up. First off, Gray tears anything up. The only thing Gray really don't like is shrimp. And she's a fucking cat. And
Yeah,
she's
that doesn't make sense.
She doesn't like all the fishes. But Gray will eat pork fried rice. Gray will eat fucking Szechuan beef. Gray will eat fucking cheeseburgers. If you leave Gray alone for 2 minutes and walk away from your dish, she will jump on that table and at least try your shit. And I get mad at her, but I don't. You know?
Do you put it like on a separate plate for her, or you just know that she's gonna go after your?
I first of all, I know she likes salami.
Right.
She loves prosciutto. She loves wet mutts. Like, she loves fucking ham. Won't eat cheese. But boar's head, deluxe ham, she will tear that up to shreds, okay? And I love her to death. But that cat eats everything. Remember, I picked that cat up on the streets. And she wasn't feral. She was half feral. And fucking, she was living in somebody's house, but they got dogs and she couldn't go back into the house. So she had to live outside. When I met that cat was about 3. And I was amazed that that's the longevity of a cat who lives outside is 3 years. I befriended her outside on the street. She walked me home. And I played with her outside, and I had treats from my cats. So I brought them down for her. And one day she just scratched the fucking door, and my cats went crazy. And, the neighbor, the owner of the cat told me, she goes, I got to be honest with you. You should just take her because she's your fucking cat. You're her dad. I could see it. She fucking follows you. And we brought her even back here. I mean, she's been with us now for, 11 years. But the last 2 years, she's really come out of her fucking shell.
That's great.
When I wake up, she follows me down here, and she jumps on my lap while I'm on the computer.
Well, you had to keep her separated, right? Like you had to keep her like in your room or something?
No,
she wasn't.
She didn't like anybody else. When we first got her, she was like, fuck you bitches. I don't like you motherfuckers at all. Okay? And she lived in a house with like 7 cats that fucking hate her. And she would walk to the kitchen in front of them and they would go like, what the fuck is that? Look at her. She would walk real timid and eat her food and then walk right back to her little hiding spot, always facing them so they couldn't attack her from the back. She always laid against the wall. She was very smart. And she got into a couple beefs with like 2 of the cats. The girls fucking hated her. There was one girl I had that I got to tell you, it broke her heart. She didn't last long after that. She did not like her in the house.
Just the fact that she was there, she didn't like it.
Nope.
Wow.
Did not fucking like it. But ever since we moved to Jersey, when we first moved, me and her got into a beef one day, and we didn't fucking hang out for like 3 months.
Over what? How do you get into a beef with a cat?
I don't know. I went upstairs one day. I laid on the bed. And she didn't like it or something. And she scratched me. So I pushed her away. And then she bit my finger. Something. It was something like, what the fuck, Gray? Well, we had just moved here. She was in shell shock. She was like a Vietnam vet. So, she's sleeping on my bed. I can't see at night. I got no fucking carrots. I walked back to the bed, and I think it's my sleep apnea machine. So when I put my hand out, I pushed her, and she fucking swatted at me. And I'm like, great, what the fuck? And then, so we didn't talk for like 3 or 4 months. Then fucking, it took me a year to get back in the good graces. But I got farther with her in that year than I did in like 8 or 9 years.
Wow.
So she sleeps with me. She sleeps in between me and my wife. She fucking, once we go for breakfast, once I get coffee in the morning, she sleeps on top of the heater for a few hours. And once I come to the office, she comes right down here and she's by my feet, meowing, purring. And then I'll leave for the day. And now she actually waits for me by the garage. And if I smoke dope in the garage, she follows me outside to the garage. It's a trip.
That's awesome. That's crazy.
It's a trip, man.
Especially so many years. So you guys were eating pizza and watching the news, you were saying.
So I came home today. I had to go to the doctor at 10. I went to the gym for a little while. And I had like a half-hour break. And I was sitting down here. And my wife came down with 2 slices of pizza. And she goes, did you eat lunch when you were out? And I go, no, I'll take a slice. I mean, I don't feel like going to a restaurant or anything. But I did see something. When I went upstairs to go to the bathroom, the pizza case was upside down by the door. We were going to take it out. Whoever goes out next, take the garbage out. And she was already sniffing at the pizza box. So she knew it was, she's fucking smart, man. So as soon as my wife came down, she came down after my wife. My wife goes, go to the back. I have to go upstairs and get something to drink. In that time, she jumped on the fucking chair with me and just started chomping. There was a piece of cheese sticking out of the side. And crispy pizza in fucking Old Bridge is back. They opened up after the fire. I didn't know. I went up to jiu-jitsu last week and I saw the sign. So when I went Sunday on the way back, I called my wife and there was some kids here and I go, you know what? I'll bring a pie for them. I didn't even eat the pizza. But when I opened it up, it was cheesy.
Nice.
Like it was just an extra cheese pie, crispy to the max, like only they could do. And fucking, I didn't eat that day. So my wife brought down the slice. I go, give me a slice. I didn't eat that whole slice. Fucking Gray ate the whole slice. I had to give her half the fucking cheese. I got like the crust and a little bit of the middle.
That's fucked up. She eats that much.
Then she eats a can of cat food. She eats a can of cat food at night, and she'll follow me around throughout the goddamn day. The cats are interesting. Animals are interesting. I'm thinking of getting a dog next. If you look at what you do when you turn 60, what to do when you turn 60, prepare to get a dog.
That's awesome. Another German Shepherd?
Yeah, but then I got to walk it. I got to figure out my leg situation and my knee situation. I don't want to walk a German Shepherd on fucking roller skates or a skateboard, or I got to tie him to my fucking stroller like a fat fucking old fuck, and he pushes me like mush. I don't need that either. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? I want to know the people who donated to Black Lives Matter.
Why?
Because I need a big envelope. I don't want to work no more.
We could start you a GoFundMe.
No, I don't want to GoFundMe.
Why?
I don't like Cuban Lives Matter.
Yeah, but how are you going to get the word out?
No. If I can't get the word out, you ain't going to get it out. You know what I'm saying? I got connections. I can spread the word. We'll buy rafts and little boats for Cuban people and bring them here and give them more dignity. But I'm not looking to buy rafts. I'm looking to fucking score 10 million first. Then I'll buy a raft. They get a raft. I knock down my 10 million. Because I was thinking about, me and my wife were talking about, look at all those people who donated to Black Lives Matter. Those people just broke off, bought houses, and really didn't do anything with the money. In my world, it seemed like it was a total scam. And it was.
I did see that there were some people who fucked off with the money.
Oh, please. They always do. Even when the Hurricane Katrina, that mayor's doing 10 to 20 in Arkansas right now. He's doing fucking, he's helping the Girl Scout make cookies.
Oh, 10 to 20. So that's your new plan? Cuban Lives Matter?
What's that?
Cuban Lives Matter?
Sure, why not? Everybody should do it. I'm gonna get like a Chinese guy. I'm gonna find the guy from Portugal. I'm gonna find a couple fucking Zambia. Everybody matters. Now send a check, cocksuckers. No guilt on their face. That's what it was a perfect scam. They bounced off in guilt. I guarantee 90% of the people who donated to that were white Americans, and like 50 had money and they felt guilty. My grandfather owned a slave. Cut a check. Now the guilt is over. Instead of going out and shaking one's hand and inviting them over to your house. See what I'm saying? Cutting a check is the easiest thing. So they made millions of dollars, billions of dollars. Well, not billions, maybe 500 million, maybe.
And you only want 10.
What?
And you only want 10. That's really not that much.
Don't. I'm not greedy. You know me. I just want to fucking go to jiu-jitsu and eat Chinese food until they put me in the casket.
That sounds like a good fucking life.
What do I give a fuck? It fucking rained like a motherfucker here yesterday. I know it's raining up there.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Fucking people lost their power, not me. I got a generator. I didn't fuck around when I moved here. That's the first thing they told me when I moved here. Get a generator, dog. Power goes out. When I moved in this house, the power had just been back for 3 days.
And what is it, like gas? Do you have to go to the gas station and like fill it up? How does it work?
You see my wife around here somewhere? I don't know what no, it's not gasoline. It's electric because it's in the fucking in the board.
Wait, it can't be an electric one unless it charges. Because if the power goes out, how's it going to work?
It recharges every Wednesday by itself. It turns off. The power in the house turns off and the charger takes it over. It's fucking tremendous.
That's badass.
Yeah, the realtor told us. Jimmy Florentine told me. They're like, before you buy that house, make sure you got enough money left over for a fucking a generator. I'm happy I did. But that's it. You know what's fucking crazy? A week right now, when we're watching this podcast next Tuesday, that's it. Christmas will be over. You motherfuckers will be out with your little cash card, spending money, going to comedy shows, walking around New York City, dying to get mugged. You know, because next week is big in New York City. From Tuesday on, straight till fucking Monday. People will be banging in the city for New Year's, going to look at shit.
Wait, like it's a good time to rob someone? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know. What am I, criminal fucking...
well, back then...
A forecaster of criminal activities? I'm just saying.
It's like Black Friday. I don't know.
No, it's not Black Friday. It's fucking right. Black Friday was in November.
No, I'm saying for criminals.
It's not. Oh, Black Friday for criminals. Very, very good. I like that little jokey. You should write that down and then don't repeat it. Anyway. What else happened this week? I didn't do shit.
No. You know what? People got mad at me.
Why?
Because I tweeted something. There was a In-N-Out opened in Idaho, and people waited 8 hours for In-N-Out. So I tweeted that was stupid, and all I could think of is like, how would you wait 8 hours for In-N-Out in your car?
Not for that shit.
That's what I said.
I wouldn't wait 8 hours in the car. It better be a good cut of meat, and there better be pussy hair on there or something different that flavors it. Eyebrow hair, something. Listen, Lee, I want you to, how old are you now?
35.
I want you to, because you came up at a different time when I came up. When I was 35, it was a different fucking world. And not right now, you're coming up in a world. It's so weird how everything is a fucking gimmick and you don't see it. Like Lee, we had our office, 100 yards from In-N-Out?
Not even, yeah.
You know, we went to the Comedy Store. There was one on Sunset. I remember during the pandemic, the line I saw In-N-Out was something you'd see for Woodstock or fucking Led Zeppelin at the Garden. I'm not kidding you. It went from Sunset and it went all the way to that street, the big street, and then it went all the way up to Hollywood Boulevard. For a fucking cheeseburger that's small, the fries got HIV, and I'm not going to tell you that. Listen, it's one of the better burgers out there.
Yeah, the burger's great.
It's one of the better burgers out there, but before I left, that burger was getting small. It was looking like a White Castle burger. And by now, with fucking Bidenomics, that's non-existent. I know the prices went up like a motherfucker. You know,
that sucks.
I just always thought that it was just a tad overrated. It was
Yeah.
always a tad overrated, and that was my personal opinion. You know, I'm not a hamburger guy. It's not like I'm gonna sit here with you and talk to you about my favorite cheeseburger. You know, there's so many good cheeseburgers. There really is. Fucking, I'll take you to places around here that the cheeseburgers are brilliant. Brilliant. Like 3 or 4 places that the cheeseburgers are great. Do I go there every day or once a week? Not at all. Tonight's the big one, Osteria. $16.95 for a cheeseburger, and they give you a beer with French fries. Are you fucking kidding me? And it's not like a fucking McDonald's burger. It's a goddamn sirloin with fucking short rib. You know, these people ain't just making some. Walk in there on a Monday. There's 10 fucking savages. That's it. There should be 300 fucking savages in there.
Yeah, you've been telling me about that since you moved there.
So people, it's like a big gimmick, man. Like when you look at things, you're like, I lived there. I was down the block from there. I never got it. It's like when I think the biggest disappointment is that hot dog place on La Brea.
Oh yeah, yeah, Pink's.
It's total garbage. But for people to get off a plane to go there, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Did you ever go to Sonic?
I went to Sonic in Tennessee.
And maybe I'm getting the wrong stuff, but I remember when it opened here in Massachusetts, I was in high school, and they had to shut it down because the line was going to the highway. And I was so excited to go when I was driving cross country, and I've been, I think, 2 times, and each time it was gross. Like the desserts and the drinks, I'm sure are great, but the food,
Oh,
I was so excited.
It's garbage. It's hot garbage. But people, you know, I still remember when Boston Market had lines. The one in Fort Lee, New Jersey, I drove by it one day. I thought they were giving away free fucking cars. It was superb, you know, the line. And now, look, you go to Boston Market, they're trying to give it away. They got a fucking peyote club, you know. Life comes and goes, you know. It's too fucking confusing sometimes. That's why you go, what the fuck happened?
You know what burger I do miss from LA? The Habit was pretty good. I like the Habit. It wasn't amazing, but for like a fast food sort of, it was like in between because they made it for you.
I used to take my daughter to the Habit because she liked it. And they always had a specialty sandwich. And those were good. Their steak sandwich was good. And they had like a chicken, Mexican
grilled chicken was good too.
Grilled chicken with the fucking avocado and all that shit, you know. But yeah, you know, it's just I don't know. I saw that 8-hour wait in Idaho. There ain't nothing going on in Idaho. So go wait for 8 fucking hours. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing against Idaho. They canceled my warrant years ago, so we're cool. I go I want. Real quick, we got to switch over now for a word from BetterHelp. We're back like herpes. Anyway, BetterHelp is going to help you out these next couple of weeks. Always taxing. So, you know, there's no shame in calling BetterHelp. So do what you do. I'll help you out a little bit. You know, whatever. You'll save on tissues. That's it. Anyway, what's up with you, Tarzan? What are your plans for the holidays and fucking, you know?
Oh, it's gonna be a fun week. Because my mom was gone visiting my brother, and he just had a daughter a year ago, so she was gone for Hanukkah. We haven't done Hanukkah yet, so we're gonna do that with Athena and her kids. Then we got new Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve as a kid was everything for me as a Jewish guy because we got invited to a family friend, like an Italian house, and like they had someone dressed up as Santa every year. And we got gifts. So Christmas Eve is going to be fun with my family, and then Christmas Day will be, 6 in the morning. I love Christmas. It's so much especially for a Jewish guy. Christmas it's so much better than Hanukkah, and I love Hanukkah, but especially as a Jewish kid growing up, and you see all the Christmas shit, that's all I wanted. So like I wake up before the kids do.
I gotta be honest with you. This Christmas, I'm very fucking excited.
That's awesome.
I've been this excited in Christmas in a long goddamn time. And for tons of reasons. Like it's just the last 2 Christmases haven't been settled. I didn't know the scoop. But in my mind, like I would spend those fucking misery Christmases in LA, and I couldn't wait to get back here to go like to your house at 6. I go by fucking Florentines at 8 o'clock. And then, Florentines are going to go to church at 9. So from there, your parents invited us all for a cocktail at 10. There's going to be some food, I fucking sat there in LA and dreamt of those. And then I moved here, and it's like, it's not like that anymore. People, I think my brother, Dan Florentine, he always has a little something, and you go over, it's understood. You go over there from 8 to 9. Maybe he's got fucking cavatelli. Maybe, who knows? But they felt emptier like than the ones I had in LA. And this summer when I went to Nashville, I really got to meet my nephew and my niece and, my other niece. Like I knew my older niece, but I didn't know the 2 younger ones. And I'm like, man, this will be great to come here for Christmas. Mercy, So I'm going, and I'm going to have a fucking great time. My brother Mike's coming up for the week to take care of the cat. He's going to stay here. I'm going to leave him an ounce of weed, leave him the car keys, and then I'll be back 5 days. I'm only going for 5 days. I'm going to try to train jiu-jitsu in Nashville. I'm going to try to see my man at Zany's. I'm going to try to see Jelly Roll, and the rest of the time just hang out with the girls, man. And then come back here and just prepare for 2024. We got to drop it like it's hot. We got plans for these people. We got shit crack-a-lacking for these motherfuckers, So that's my plan. I'm sticking to it because I got no reason to lie, A lot of action coming up over the holidays. I mean, I didn't know this. There's 3 fucking football games on Christmas Eve.
Is there really?
Yeah, and I think there's a game on Christmas Day.
I haven't even looked. They're on Saturdays now, too. I just saw that this weekend.
The next couple of weeks, man. You got the end of college football. You got pro basketball. There's just a lot of shit going on, so you won't be bored. Listen, when you go to those family reunions, you end up watching sports anyway.
Oh, yeah.
There's some of the men go in one room. The kids come in. You're either watching football or golf or tennis, whatever the fuck you like. And that's it. It's there's not much going on for 2024. I got a couple fucking things I'm going to do in 2024. And part of that is just to get some action going, brother. I've been in Central Jersey for 3 years, just, trying to put the pieces together. Now I'm ready to percolate.
I love it.
I got a plan like Stan.
I'm excited to see what happens, dude. How is like Mercy feel about Christmas? Is it still big for her?
No, she don't believe in Santa Claus.
Well,
she don't.
Okay.
Her friends don't say nothing.
Right.
She figured it out. She went to the mom and said, knock it off. I ain't writing no letter to fucking Santa. It was very interesting what happened yesterday with her.
Okay.
I had an interesting day with my daughter yesterday. We get up on Sundays, we get up at 7:30, blah, blah, blah. Something happened yesterday. She got sick at church last week. So she didn't want to go to church this week. So there was really nobody around on Sunday. It was really weird. And I was here till 10:30. I had breakfast with them. We were talking, bullshitting. And then I went to jiu-jitsu, and then I came back. And I go, what's going on? They were setting up rooms upstairs because my daughter switched rooms. And they were finishing up that. And then my wife came down, and it was 2:30. And I'm sitting here watching football. I went over to Jimmy's. Oh, no, I went over to Jimmy's. And I watched the Dolphins for a little while. It wasn't even a fucking game,
Right.
Playing the fucking Jets. And then I came back. And I'm like, girls, what do you guys want to do? And my wife's like, I don't know. There's not much going on. I mean, it was raining already. It was starting to rain. And one of the moms had contacted me and said, you guys want to go out to dinner? And I go, yeah. But as we're leaving, we go, yeah. She goes, oh, by the way, my daughter's not coming. I don't want to take Mercy to sit with 4 adults. You know what I'm saying? So I go,
Right.
leave it back here with me. But when Mercy came down, she goes, Dad. No, she goes, and my wife told her she had been in the house so fucking long. And I've been telling my wife since we moved here, my daughter's not that kid you think. She's a fucking thoroughbred. She needs a little action. TV and the computer for her doesn't cut it. And she doesn't need to do much. She don't need to do much. She just needs to.
Get out of the house.
Dog, she came down. My wife told her what was going on. And Mercy goes, so what am I going to do? And just broke down. She just had tears in her eyes. And she just came over and gave me a hug. And I go, you want to get the hell out of here, don't you? She goes, yeah, I have to get out of here. And I go get your jacket on. You know, and I didn't care about the Dallas game. I wasn't even watching that piece of shit game. I got in the car. As I was getting in the car, I put her favorite music on, that little girl that performed at the Garden, Olivia Rodrigo.
Right, okay.
I typed it into my phone when she wasn't watching in my Apple, and then I got in the car, started it, and plugged it in, and that song came on that she liked. And she fucking, you know, she smiled. And then I took her on a ride for like 25 minutes. And all those songs came on, like the whole album she likes. It was on loud. I didn't say a fucking word to her. I just let her process because that's what she needed to do. It's like her dad. I got to get the fuck out of here in the morning. I'm the type of guy who'll get up and write shit and prepare for the day. And what am I going to do this week? But you know what? Tucker's cheap, cocksucker. It's time to try out what you believe in. You got to get out of here. Even if it's to go around the corner and make a phone call. When I call you, I'm not home. I'm gone already. I'm going to do something, but I got to get out of the house. Even though I don't have to wait till 10, it's 9:15. I'm calling you. I got to get out of the house. I'm out of the house. I got the fruit in me. I got 2 eggs, sunny side up, and avocado toast. Bing, boom, get that Cuban out of the room. You know what I'm saying?
And you could just and you could just tell that's what she needed. Like you guys didn't even go anywhere. You just were driving.
Went for a ride. We're gonna go get ice cream. She didn't want to. We just kept listening to music. And what did we go do? Oh, we ended up going to Barnes and Nobles. And I don't like that Barnes and Nobles, Freehold, because they're the ones that told me I couldn't do the book signing there. So I was making a right turn. If you know anything about me, I'm like, I don't even know why I'm fucking coming in here. I even thought about just giving my daughter $20 and go get what you need to get, whatever the fuck it is, and come back. Because I don't want to step foot in there. But I didn't want to make no problems. So I walked in there with her. And I went in there and I even got more fucking annoyed. Because one guy was watching me like I was a shoplifter. You know, because I didn't look the best. I had a hooded sweatshirt on, sweatpants. I don't give a fuck. It's coming down out here. I'm going to dress up to go to Barnes and Noble. And
People
then
still look at you like that? That's crazy.
He did, this little fucking dude. I'm not gonna say his racial perpetuation. He was looking at me. He was eyeballing me like I was a shoplifter. Came up to me and, do I need any help? Do I look like I need any fucking help, cocksucker? I'm standing 3 feet from my daughter in the kids section of fucking Harry Potter, whatever the fuck. She got some book by Tim Burton or something. I don't know. Tim Burton wrote a movie. He's going to direct the movie. You know me. I just yes and that. And next thing you know, I'm dropping the small 20. And my daughter's smart because she actually walks up to the counter like she's faking the money, like she's got it in, like she's going to take it out. And then we get to the counter, I'm like, you know, I'm not going to fucking outduel her here. What am I going to do? I just take the money out and pay for it. She always like goes, like she has that little limp hand, you know, a little ga.
The limp hand. Did you teach her this? Or did it's just something that was natural?
But then, as I'm paying for the fucking book, I turn around and there's a book of fucking biographies and comedies and shit. My book was not on the fucking table.
Motherfuckers.
And I'm like, these motherfuckers. And I wasn't even going to ask them where it was. It didn't even matter to me. I don't ever want to do business with those cocksuckers anymore. Anyway, I got to break real quick and drop some knowledge on you from DraftKings. Give me a minute. We're back, Jack. Anyway. So that's it, brother. That's my fucking story. And I'm sticking to it. I had good weeks. I got some plans for 2024. I don't even want to tell you, Lee.
I'm excited. You always have good plans.
I'm excited because I got to do something. I got to do something. Even something small. I got to do something. I got to put something. I'm starting a book in January. And I really thought about the conversation we had the other night. It really helped me. My conversations with you on this podcast and off the podcast are really helping me write this book because I'm looking at the efficiencies that you had, I have, and other young comics have. I have a lot of young comics on Patreon, and they ask me questions, and it's frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to know how to get to the next level. And you and I had a conversation the other day. I don't even know if you remember it. I was telling you that I'm going to write a chapter about the things I did wrong.
Right.
The things I did wrong. And I fucking wrote one that was tremendous. And it was very hard for me. And it was, people always ask me, like on the side, like I was talking to a young comic the other day, like at a French fry place. I was there with my daughter. I don't even know it was a French fry place. It wasn't a French fry place. This was when we went to the city for the concert. And the kid goes, you know, do you have any advice for a young comic? And I go, listen, I've been thinking about this for a long time. Not taping myself. Not listening to myself. Not watching my videos. I'm going to make a confession to you, Lee. Out of all the churches we did, I saw bits and pieces on YouTube. If you thought I sat there through a podcast and watched it, never watched it. The last person I want to see is me. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't agree more.
So, what are you saying?
About myself.
I'm just teasing. But I think one of the biggest mistakes I made, and not being serious about it, is I know everybody's broke. I'm not expecting you to buy a fucking high-end camera. And these fucking phones are $600, and you drop it with a fuck whatever. You know, now you got to deliver pizza for another year to get another phone, or you got to borrow a small nickel from dad. You got to hear that of your beat. You know, all you got to do is tape your sets. Just make it a habit to tape your sets, whether they're 5 minutes, 15 minutes, tape your fucking sets. It's something I didn't do, and if I could do it all over again from 1991, I would have done them all. Joey, why didn't you do it? Because I was so insecure about myself. I didn't want to see myself on tape. I've never watched a full special of mine on tape. I'll tell you what I have watched, because I could, as I was doing it, I could feel it. And that was the Comedy Central things I did for Ari. Besides that, I don't watch any of that shit at all. At all. But it was such a mistake for me. And it's such a mistake for a young comic. And you're going to go, Joey, but I'm just getting started, because I want you to build healthy habits. Now, I want you to know that at home, I don't give a fuck about your sexual preferences. I don't give a fuck about your drug addictions. I don't give a fuck if you stay out till 6 doing Molly and jumping up and down. I will tell you what I want from you as a young comic. And it's the first thing you do when you go home is wash your hands, jump in the shower, eat a pie, mom's apple pie, whatever the fuck your ritual is. But before you hit that sack, I want you to listen to that fucking tape. Make 2 notes, just 2 notes. Not negative, positive. For right now, I don't want you to go to bed upset. And then listen to it again in the morning and make your notes. And right there in the morning when you're eating your cereal, make your plans for the next night. What am I going to do different? And not even a plan. I just want you to make a note and then come back at 5 from work or whatever the fuck you're doing, and then execute that plan for tonight or the next show, whatever the fuck that may be. That was my mistake.
Because you never recorded, right? Like even later on when you had like the phone, no?
When we met, you said to me one night, you want me to record your fucking set on the way down to Irvine. And next thing you know, it was a #1 fucking download. You know what I'm saying?
I know, that's fucking crazy that you never did.
I recorded. I never, because of my appearance and I was so insecure, that's why I don't like fucking specials too much. I want to listen to you. For me, stand up, If I listened to myself more, I would have been so much better, Lee.
It's amazing you were as good as you were and like never listening to it. You just had that, like you just have a great memory, I think.
Because I hated my voice and I hated what I looked like. Like I didn't want to see me on stage. But there was one thing I did believe in and what I felt like on that stage. And I'll tell you, I walked off that stage many a night going, I wish I would have taped that. Because I wanted to hear what my heart sounds like when I was on stage. I wanted to hear. I love hearing a glass get set. I loved those. I came up on the Richard Pryor albums and the Red Fox albums, and I could feel the heart coming through the speakers, whether I had earphones on or we were at one of my friends' house, the Specials or Sabatino, one of them, and we were listening to, I love listening to the laughter, and it was real. It was a small club. It wasn't an arena. Nobody was doing arenas. Nobody was doing comedy clubs. There was maybe $120 in there, $150. And you heard it differently. And I always wanted to sound that way. But I knew no matter what I did, it would never sound that way. But I learned listening to the beats. I'm listening to beats. I'm listening to, a beat is when somebody stops. And I'm listening to all these little things. But what I'm really listening to is his heart. That's what I could hear. I can't see it. He's a fake. He's got a bunch of tattoos. He's got a weird hairdo. He's got a scarf on. I don't want to see that. I want to hear it. Somewhere along the line, people wanted to see tape, and that's where I think I'm an old man. I want to hear it, even though I can't hear, but I want to hear it.
I mean, we've talked forever about how much I love albums, but it's, how do you think, like, how did you write if you weren't listening to it? You just remembered like the little changes you would make?
Yes.
Wow.
A lot of times I would, one of the running jokes with these fucking guys, and they'll bring it up to them. The Rogans, the Aries is, Joey, did you write that down? Joey, write that down. That was like, did he write that down? What's he doing? That's and because I knew I could come up with those once a night. I could pop those out of my ass. I always knew. I didn't know if I was going to kill, but I knew I had one line in me that wasn't on the dialogue that I could pop. So, and now I regret all that. I threw away hours of material because I didn't bring it home at night, listen to it, and write it down. If me and you could be driving, and it happened. I'm not making this up. You and I could be driving the car, driving to Irvine, Brea, Oxnard, wherever the fuck it was. We go over something, we talk about this, and you go, ooh, say that joke from the Ice House. And I would get in there, practice the joke in my head, not in front of a mirror, I would practice it in my fucking head. And then you get there, you have a great set, and you come off, and you're like, Joey, that was a really good set. And I'm like, fuck you. I didn't say that fucking joke.
Oh, yeah.
That one joke was what I worked on all fucking week. That's the only thing I wanted to work. I just did a complete different set. And the thing that got me the most was that I didn't do that one fucking joke. You were there 1,000 times. When I got off the stage and I go like, fuck. And you go like, what happened? And I'm like, I didn't try the joke. Meanwhile, they're howling.
Right. They had a great fucking time.
I didn't give a fuck. I didn't try that fucking joke. That would go on for 6 nights.
Was it just, you were just in the moment?
Yeah. And then I would go home. Then I would try it. And now I got a reaction. Now where am I going with this fucking beginning? Right? We had this discussion last week. Remember? The joke we were talking about.
Right.
I
tried
don't
it.
like, huh? You tried it. Now you called me that night. You went crazy. You tried it twice. It worked. You called me going crazy about what? That it worked, or what was the main concern?
About where to go from there?
It's the same thing. I forgot that joke. We look at things so fucking differently. Like people have no idea how pissed you get as a comic when they're telling you that was a great set, and you're like, motherfuckers, I had something up my sleeve that was going to make your eyeballs pop out. I wish I'd go back up there and do it, but I can't. It's just that. Anyway, to get back to the story, I wish I would have got home at night, listened to my tape. I really used to get home at night, and I got to be honest with you, no matter how fucked up I was, I always remembered to go to my notebook, write down how I did, honestly, what joke I wanted to try. If I had somebody with me, I only put the parameters and I go back the next morning. But if I was alone, that's when I go through my process. I get pissed off. I get a fucking line of Coke and a drink of beer, and let me write this over again. Then I'd write it over again, and that went on until 6 a.m. It was an excuse to snort the Coke.
Right, but there are sometimes I do remember things, but there's a lot of times I'll go back to listen. I don't listen to every set by any stretch of the imagination, but when I do listen, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I said that. So I was thinking about that when you said, like, oh, you threw away so much. So you definitely threw away hours.
But I knew I could write more. It's like a Coke dealer. I knew I could sell more Coke. It didn't matter what I was spending. I always knew that I could pop up something, especially when you get on stage every night. Once you get into that rhythm, you start popping shit every 2 nights. Then it's every night that you get off stage and you go, I can't believe I fucking said that. And the joke that I think about the most, just to let people know, is when I do Ari's Storyteller show, when we beat up the nun.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 4 jokes in that thing that were nowhere on the agenda. When I said I don't like milk, but I like milkshakes, that was not on the agenda. When I talked about the Puerto Rican kids, the whatever brothers hitting them, and I go, they look like Roberto Clemente motherfuckers. Came out right there. These are the things that will come out of you once you get on stage a lot, and fucking, that's it. That's all I got to say on that. I love talking this shit, and I could talk it for hours about different, and then you see it in other comics. I've been on stage with everybody, and they've gotten off stage and, hey, how'd you do? Man, I had this joke I wanted to say, motherfucker. I forgot the wording on it. And these are like top guys, like they're in the game a few years. So, hey, if the video is lagging, it's because the Chinese balloon is in the neighborhood. So, don't worry about nothing. The fucking internet is still tip-top magoo. But shit's happened. We've had bad weather here. Trees got knocked down. So, but the heart and soul is still there. You still get the voice, like a Man on Fire. You get the guy's voice. I caught the last 20 minutes of that the other night. Jesus Christ. I hadn't seen it in about a year. It's from the part where he makes the dude shoot himself, the Puerto Rican dude that was married to Jennifer Lopez. From there on, he was on a fucking rampage. And I hadn't seen that in a while. God damn. I've been catching some fucking killer movies lately by mistake, the way I like to catch them, not planned. You just turn the TV on, they're coming in like 10 minutes. Fucking tremendous movies lately. And I've still been going to bed early, but I love watching, like, I saw Man on Fire. I saw The Getaway was on the other night. I caught the last hour of that. A good week with Steve McQueen, maybe the end of a Charles Bronson movie. They've been playing a movie from '84 from Charles Bronson. It's a good movie. Not really. It's not one of my favorites. A little bit too violent for me. But I caught the fucking beginning of that the other day. He threw the guy off the balcony with a fucking fire hydrant. Tremendous. You can't write that shit in the script. You know what I'm saying?
And it doesn't bother you to go in like with like an hour left. I can't watch
I've
movies
seen the
like
movie. At this point, I could
Right.
rewrite the fucking movie. I've seen it so many times. My point is that I haven't seen it in a long time.
Right.
So, it's like when I told you I watched Scarface. Everybody saw Scarface. I saw it 50 times when it came out, but I didn't have it on for 20 fucking years. You know, the other night it was coming on. Oh, Netflix had it. And I go, let me turn this on and see what it looks like. It was fucking raw. It's still raw. So I like doing that from time to time. Nothing new's coming out. It's like you're planning to go see no fucking movie the next 2 weeks. There's really nothing. There's no Christmas movie. I think she's going to see Willy Wonka. How many times are you going to make a Willy Wonka fucking movie? If you're not watching the original Willy Wonka, what are you doing? I talked to her about it. I said, listen, the original Willy Wonka is the fucking Mac Daddy of Mac Daddies, but she likes Burton and this guy and that guy. So what do you want from me? I'm trying my best just to be a dad, smoke dope, and keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you. It's sad. It's sad that there are no movies coming out on Christmas because that's what I was thinking of doing too. And I just looked and there's nothing.
Nothing. You know, I always thought maybe making an investment in like a fucking movie theater, an old one, and getting movies. 10 people told me you're gonna lose your shirt because what you got to pay to bring those movies in is fucking hella high water. So what are you gonna charge? $22? You got to charge more in the movie theater because you have a smaller movie theater. AMC got a parking lot. I'm talking about getting like a 98 seater and showing Charles Bronson weekend, Bruce Lee weekend, Lee Syatt weekend, bringing comics during the week.
And you think, and that would be expensive? I thought that's the whole reason they had old movies at movie theaters because it was cheaper.
Fucking Q&A about the movies. Read
that
some
would be
shit
awesome.
up. Everybody join in. That's a Tuesday night club. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Wednesday play poker and have sucky fucky in the basement for some people in the community. You know what I'm saying? Get the priest in there, getting the party started and shit.
Sucky fucky for the community?
I went to the heart doctor in Eatontown.
Okay.
And I go to this heart doctor. Like, it's a beautiful building. The neighborhood is great, but there's a little alleyway. And at the end of the alleyway, there's a little light that just blinks and says massage. I've been to this doctor 6 times in 3 years for checkups, blood work. And every time I go, I park the car close to it just to see if anybody comes out of there or whatever. It's open all the time. So finally this week, I went that last week, I walked in. As soon as the doctor walked in, I looked at him, I go, Dr. I, let me ask you a question. You ever go to that massage and let somebody tickle your asshole with a feather? Dog, he just froze up, this dude. Nobody's ever talked to him like that. Then he closed the door and he goes, no. And he goes, but I have thought about it. So.
Holy shit. You asked your doctor that?
You got to ask him. You got to blow him out of his fucking whistle. You don't let him know where you stand. If not, he thinks you're an okie doke like everybody else.
Oh my God. I think he might like okie dokes. I don't think he wants people to ask. Oh my God. What would you have done if he had said yes?
What?
What would you have done if he says, oh yeah, I go there every Friday?
Oh, give me the code. Give me the 10% off card. Give me the referral. I don't want to touch nobody. I don't want to kiss nobody. But if somebody wants to blow hot air in my ass with a straw, I'm at that age. I enjoy things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you naked. I don't want to touch you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you. But if you want to tickle my asshole with a feather for 25 minutes for the small 50, I'm in.
How did he find out you liked that?
What happened?
How did he find out you liked getting your asshole tickled with a feather?
Who?
You.
Oh, when I was like 20, I bumped into a chick that was a pilgrim and the party started.
Holy shit. Are you gonna do you talk like this in front of your in-laws? Do you have, like, with your nieces and nephews, do you fuck with them a little bit?
The ones in Tennessee, you know, they're Bible beaters. I love them, but I can't talk like this. And that's my nieces. I can't talk crazy. Mercy, I can talk a little crazy now. She gets it. Listen, Urban in this neighborhood talks crazy, so I don't want her to think I'm a fucking quiet boy. That's the farthest thing I am. So, yeah, if it's around her friends, I go off from time to time.
I love it. They must love you. And I've seen them with you. But...
I went off last night at my favorite restaurant because just fucking every time I go in there, there's like 3 waiters that are sweethearts, but they always want to talk. And if there's music on and a TV on and the dining room is packed, I can't fucking hear you. You can talk all you want. And last night, this guy wanted to talk about Memphis. You know, I got, you know, I was smoking dope since after jiu-jitsu. I think I ate a mushroom cap that looked like my toenail. I swear to God, this mushroom cap looked just like my fungi toenail on the right foot. So I was on fire. I wasn't planning on going to the restaurant by no means, but my daughter finally goes, Dad, I want to go eat something after we went for our long ride. So we went to meet the girls, right? So he came over, you know, what are you doing for the holidays? We're going to Nashville. Oh, very nice. You know, I'm going to Memphis. Have you ever been to Memphis? What are the people like? And I go, listen, what are you talking to me for? Ask my wife. She's from Tennessee. I don't know nothing. And then, you know, I was having like 3 conversations at once. I'm in this fucking corner. I got Christmas music over my head. Fucking, I'm trying to watch the fucking game. I got the over in the Dallas game. It don't look like it's coming in. I don't know what game. Like 20. And this guy wants to talk to me about fucking Memphis. And the whole time I can't hear. So finally at the end, I go, can I talk to you for a second? I've been coming here for 2 years. I come here, you want to give me a fucking ear beat. And I don't mind. I like everybody talking, but I want you to listen to the music and all. I'm deaf. Yeah, when you come over to me sometimes, I go, don't I have a retarded look on my face? I have a face retarded. When I don't know what's going on and you come over and I'm thinking about something. I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat dinner. This guy's asking me about Memphis. And finally, I was like, that guy, when I come in here, talk to me. But if there's music and shit, it's hello and goodbye. I can't hear you. You want to come in here, you want directions to Memphis. We would die to laugh. I don't know how to get to Memphis. People have no idea. I'm fucking deaf. Especially when there's a lot of shit going on. I'm not going to fucking hear you. I'm not going to hear you.
Would you like, kind of?
What's that?
I said, would you like, kind of?
In certain situations.
Right.
Like I went to physical therapy the other day. I almost broke my ankle just to get out of there. There was a lady, 400 pounds. All she talked about was a bad knee and how she can't, you know, stop it. You're killing me here. Get on the bike and knock it the fuck off. And this went on for hours. She got like 2 people over there. Well, let me tell you what happened. I'm like, come on, lady, get up. Enough with this. Your knee hurts because you sit on the couch eating Entenmann's all day watching fucking game shows. Get up, get on the fucking bike. Come on, knock it off. She gave him a 20-minute speech. You know, what she's going to do. Oh, they were talking about how to fucking break into somebody's internet. I need this. I'm a convicted felon. No, they weren't fucking, you know, internets. They were saying how people are breaking into the internet. But this went on for 30 minutes. We didn't come here to talk about the internet. Diablo, let's go. Get on the fucking bike. Give her a roller skate. Something. You know what I'm saying?
I love when that happens. I love watching you. I'm surprised you lasted 30 minutes.
What's that?
I'm surprised you lasted 30 minutes before you said something about it.
You know, I'm becoming a fucking Christian as of short. You know what I'm
saying? Can I ask you something?
No, not really.
Is Catholicism part of Christianity? I have people who talk. I have no idea.
Listen, I don't know nothing. I know Jesus went out on Thursday. They stabbed him. He came back on Sunday. He died for his sins. I know Adam and Eve ate the fucking apple, so we don't have to fucking, you know, if Adam wouldn't have bit the apple or Eve, everybody, we would have lived in paradise. I know things like that. All right. This other shit I don't know much about. I know about old school Catholicism without getting the finger in my ass. I was there. I lived it. I went to a Catholic grammar school, the whole fucking deal. And, you know, I don't know how it all met. I pray to one God. I don't know what color he is. You know, we're all in for a fucking surprise. So just shut the fuck up, go to work and say your prayers and put $1 in the basket on Sunday. You'll be fine.
That's what I'll do. I love it.
Merry Christmas, buddy. Merry Christmas to you and your family, brother. We'll talk the next couple days, and we'll keep you guys posted on Christmas or what the fuck we're going to do. But for right now, we love you. Thank you for letting us come into your home every Tuesday, or your car, or your fucking whatever, your earpods. And thank you for being there for us the last, what? Lee, wake up out of your coma.
I was listening for the last 4 months.
All right. No, we've been on the air together.
Oh, well, yeah, for us for about 12 years. That's crazy. Yeah.
And we got surprises for you next year. So get ready, cocksuckers. Stay black. And now for a word from our sponsors.